Alrighty. Good evening, Final Fantasy Randomizer fans. Let's do this thing. It is the last race of the first week of Swiss Spring Tournament 2020. My name is Gregory Puff, and I am here with Get Dave. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. Very excited to be here. It's my first race I'm commentating tonight, so...
I know, and you're stuck with me. It's like the blind leading the blind over here. I'm not sure what's going to happen. So
it's not ideal.
Could not agree with that statement more. Let's go on ahead and do this thing. We've got Lord of the Synth over here with the rush names. I like it. And Leggystarscream, our basically tournament director for this whole thing. She's been putting the entire thing together and doing a hell of a job, and we're very excited to get this race going and get these guys going. What do you think of these parties that you see?
So we got Fighter Rainbow and Fighter Rainbow.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a safe play.
No.
And, I mean, we'll see what happens, right? But I think we've got two racers who are probably in a pretty similar ballpark in terms of level of skill and similar party comps, so it's just going to be execution and routing.
No, I definitely have to agree with you there. I will say both of these guys have been around since before my time, so they definitely have been at least 2 years in the community. I went on ahead and let the racers go, so as soon as the stream gets caught up, they will be let go, and we will see what this seed has to offer for us. So basically, let's go over the flags real quick. Pretty simple stuff. Your standard places are incentivized. You've got ice ordeals. We got Sea Shrine incentivized this particular week. And we've got not a lot of good stuff happening in White Magic, except for that Expert maybe. And Zap is the only AoE that we have currently. Zap is time elemental. Not very accurate, but should do pretty well against some of these early weak monsters.
This is a bit of a tough start. Reset, reroll 4 fighters. It's the only play.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, don't even check the other cities. You may as well, you know what I say? Why not just reroll for 4 black belts and just call it a day? Just punch your way through the seed.
They better hope for items.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with that. So it looks like at least heals are kind of cheap, as well as pures.
Well-priced cabins, that's what they have to work with, right?
Yeah, you know, camping gear being cheap is always nice. I'm a big fan of that. Let's see here. Should probably pull up my notes so that I see exactly what's happening. And let's talk about chat real quick, man. We got a bunch of awesome people in chat. Dual Mule, oh my god, I cannot read, but we're going to call her Double Duel, since I can't get the middle part. And Min the Major in chat right now. Got some goofy looking imps over on Lord of the Synth screen. And Dimmerine's in chat as well. Very exciting stuff. Leggy's our first person into Topher. She's going to check the boxes. We got a big sword.
Yeah, there was nothing but cash up top, but a giant sword, that actually helps.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big fan of the big sword. It's definitely better than a rapier. And zombies... I don't know if they have death touch or if they're just beating the crap out of Leggy's peeps or not, but she's having a hard time getting away. She's down to just one light warrior. She's going to reset out. She's not even checking that.
This is interesting to me. So we're just playing the RNG game. You're hoping Zap lands, and if not, it's a reset, but it's a quick one.
Duel is fine. Okay, DMD. That's what I think I'll go with. High spirits here. In chat, everywhere. Just exciting stuff. Let's see here. We got zaps happening. Garland has killed Hat, and we got another reset. I'm assuming both zaps went off, and
it did not go off.
It did not go off.
Yeah, there we go.
Well, there we go. And Bones have. Oh my God! There's a bunch of statues on the screen. I'm not understanding what's happening over here right now.
All right, if this is your first time watching Rando, this is what we would describe as start.
Yeah, exactly. So we got the Matoya. Yeah, I saw a Matoya check. I saw a bottle. I saw a chime. The spell zaps and the crab cakes would say sky, sky, sky at this point, even though you don't even have the cube. But that's where they would go. It somehow managed to get up there. And Leggy's gonna make her way towards Provoca as Lord of the Synth is gonna zap a bunch of sea creatures down.
Yeah, I think they gotta hope for good level 2 magic. Level 2 is, I believe, the only level where every spell is learnable, no strings attached.
Dude, you are absolutely 100% correct. Specifically, Red Mage can learn all the white and all the black, as opposed to level 1, you can only really learn 1 and 2. Same with levels 3 and 4. And then it just gets less and less from that point on. Super cheap houses right there. Not enough money to pick them up. And we got Quake.
We got
Warp.
So, utility spell and a niche one. Okay, and this too, this is all going to be really nice.
Yeah.
If we could ever get the basics taken care of.
Yeah, well, the thing that's tough about these particular spells is Warp is great if we have to do an early marsh. Quake is fine if you have to do an early marsh, as well as Zap. But you want to see damage-dealing spells. Like, these RNGs
would be good.
Yeah, these RNG spells, they're not my favorite, but they will be fine. They should be fine if we end up in marsh.
Both did fine against the pirates, so
Yeah.
this has the potential to be a slow fight, but it's going fine.
Yeah, pirate handing over some herb, holding out on us, clearly. So we'll eventually turn that herb in, since, I mean, most people are going to head over to Elfland, give the prince the herb. He'll wake up, he'll be like, hey, my herb, awesome. And then probably give us something for it. But let's see.
Yeah, you're thinking the trip to Elfland right away would be the play to make, hey?
Well, there's two thoughts of mine. You want to A, check these chests to see if the loose canal happens to be in those chests, or B, get your fetch quests out of the way in case you end up with something like the crystal, the TNT, or the adamant, and then still have to go there anyway, so you're not double dipping those locations. So for me personally, I would turn in the herb and then see where I go from there.
And
but
we'll see. Town shuffle, correct?
That is correct. So basically,
going to turn in that herb is going to put you close to a shot at level 3 and 4 magic to see if maybe there's a sweeper spell out there waiting for you.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Those are exactly what I was thinking. These guys are just trying to get to those areas. Leggystarscream is going to head up to Matoya's Cave, get the items that I never saw Lord of the Synth get. Lord of the Synth still needs to kill Garland, so that needs to happen at some point. And
Synth's play to walk away from that, though, knowing how little they had to work with right off the top. Because your chances of killing Garland weren't great, so you might as well go for a walk and see if you can find some help, which we didn't, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and then the other thing, too, is, like, you've got that level 1 zap. I think you'd have a better chance of killing those 9 pirates with the zap than maybe you would a Garland, and then be able to pick up those level 2 spells like what happened. We got a pro cape, protective cape. That's really nice to see. It is the only shield, besides the buckler, of course, that your magely classes can equip, and it's got 8 absorb, so it's a really, really nice piece of gear to find.
Yeah, in vanilla game, you wouldn't find armor that good, like with all of the armor groups combined, until a fair bit later in the game. So
yeah, actually, the pro cape you do not find. There's only 2 in the game. The first one is located in Sky 3, far right room, and the second one is actually on Carrie's floor in Topher. So yeah, there's only the 2 that are in the game.
Yeah, and even just getting your defense up to 8 on a mage is no small deal. So they've got that in their pocket if they want to protect the black mage if they ever get a spell, or the white mage if they ever get a spell.
No, yeah, for sure. So these guys are making their moves. Leggy, she's going to hang out in Canaria, save the game. Lord of the Synth, probably going to head back to Canaria and maybe kill a Garland. Leggy's not going to opt not to go to Dwarf's Cave. She's going to head straight to Provoca and give the prince that sweet, sweet herb. Got to deal with these ogres and creeps first.
We have extended open progression, or one notch back from that?
So we have we have the one notch back from it. So open progression is what we have currently. Basically, it gives you a break in the river system between Volcano and Ice Cave. That way you can sail the river system and get to one or the other, which you couldn't do in the vanilla game. Got a canoe, speaking of which.
Hey!
So there we go. That opens up a lot more of the inner sea right now. I know, speak of things and you shall get them. And we're going to see some level 3 spells. We got a Quad X.
Okay, now that's a real spell.
Now we got a real spell. Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
That's
Quad
not
X.
going to take out the group, but at this stage in the game, that's instant killing whoever you point at.
Exactly. So do you want to talk about Quad X real quick and give everybody the lowdown of exactly what that means?
Okay, so Quad X is a spell, targets one enemy. If they have less than, I believe it's 300 hit points, they're just dead. Unless they resist Death Element.
That is correct. I could not have said it any better. These Hydras are giving Leggystarscream the business. We got 4 hits, and yep, that's a reset. I don't blame her on that move. The main problem with the river.
The Hydras have a pretty good base hit point range, so depending on how the randomizer rolled, that's one of the encounters that rendered Quad X potentially useless.
Yeah, and it looks like right now, Leggy, I don't think even has enough levels to use that Quad X. I think she still needs to get to level 5 in order to get that charge of level 3. And yeah, unfortunately, has to reset out of that giant battle too, because the zaps were just not working. So yeah, you get the canoe this early. If you can go to Volcano and Ice Cave, which is incentivized, do you choose those looking for the canal over going to Marsh? How do you feel about a Marsh play versus what's happening right now?
At this stage, I think going to Volcano and trying to get something from the armory is a bit hard to walk away from.
Oh,
because I don't think your chances of surviving in Marsh against the enemies are any better.
Yeah,
and so there's that big payoff all in one spot. And you have war.
Yep. So I do want to talk about real quick in the I feel like the earlier versions of the randomizer, when you found the ruby, it was kind of a womp. You'd be like, nah, I'm not a big fan of this. Luckily, with this particular flag set with the loose canal, you're more than likely gonna be do the ruby turn-in to get to Sarda, to get that incentive item. And one of our newest incentive locations is Titan's Trove. So those 4 chests down there that the Titan guard will have an incentive item. So that's actually, ruby's actually one of the better key items to find, especially early on.
Without the canal, though, can we get there?
You cannot, unfortunately. You gotta find that canal or the floater. And at that point, the floater only gets you the 1 key item as opposed to the 2, because you're not going through the Titan's Trove. Yeah, you can get the Sarda with the airship is what I'm getting at. Yeah. And we got a lot of talking happening. Gloomchew is here. Darren Dries, Demon Frog. Man, we've got a big old group of people hanging out in chat right now talking about Final Fantasy. So tomorrow, real quick, because we're just kind of hanging out in Crescent. We got a ogre getting zapped around. Tomorrow starts week 2. We're gonna randomly roll another Fiend dungeon, not C, because we've done C this week. So it'll be either Air, which is the Adamant check, or the Adamant chest, Earth, which is the Ruby chest, or Volcano, which is the Red Dragon chest down at the very bottom on Carrie's floor. It'll be one of those 3 areas will be incentivized next week. And we're going to go on ahead and get our 1-and-1s paired up with each other and our 0-and-1s paired up with each other. And that'll happen at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time on Randomania Prime tomorrow night. And Leggy is, in fact, heading towards Volcano.
Perfect. And it's still the first week of the tournament, so for people who maybe missed it, can you sort of explain to me why we're going with the casino theme for the tournament this year? Last year it was Sail the High Seas because you started with a boat. This year...
Well, I want to get super stoked about the fact that White Magic has Heal 3 and Exit, and that Exit specifically is White Mage only, which is very exciting for me. Nothing really that exciting in level 4. I'll talk about this level 4 Black Magic real quick. We've got Bane, so again, we do not have no sweeper. That is, the odds are really low that that at least one sweeper.
Yeah, there's about 8 in the game, and none of them fell this way, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it's hilarious, but it also
I'm on this side of the controller, so it's fine with me.
Expensive gold bracelets at 41K. But anyways, like I was saying, like you asked before, so the casino thing is basically because we are randomly choosing Fiend dungeons. So it's almost like a roulette kind of thing. We're rolling the dice, and eventually we will land on a Fiend dungeon. And the Fiend dungeons do rotate weekly until we, of course, get through all of Swiss. In the final round of Swiss, the week 6, we actually have 3 loose items. So one of the Fiend dungeons will not be incentivized at all, so none of them will be. And you will have 3 loose items plus the canal. And these Frosties are giving Leggy the business, and unfortunately, she goes down to the Frosties and Volcano. But she did find some pretty good vendor swords. She got that katana. That's going to be worth big money if she can get it out of there.
Yeah, utterly useless as an item, but someone will pay for it.
And Lord of the Synth, obviously doing a similar play, finding the canoe, and is going to also head over to Crescent, get his ruby, and then more than likely head up Volcano as well. Because, with the exit and warp spells, you should be able to get in here and get out pretty quickly as long as you have the levels. But those unrunnable fires are going to make it a little difficult.
At what point do you walk away from the volcano? They're probably not going to dive all the way.
Oh, I check that big room and I get out of here. I take whatever money I have and I get out of here. You don't have, unfortunately, the only really reliable spell that these guys have is the Quad X. The Zap will be fine. You can't kill Carry with anything that they have currently. So, hopefully that Quad X lands on that Pede. We're about to find out right now because that giant sword did absolutely nothing. And Peds are quad Xable, so they did fall under that 300 health. There's a part of me that thinks, maybe go back to Crescent, check out some random encounters outside of there, and see if you can run into some more Peds on the overworld, maybe gain a couple levels before you do something else.
They can be trouble, though.
Oh, absolutely. They have Glance. They can turn all your people to stone before anything happens.
It might be... I'm going to take heat for saying it, but I feel like Marsh might start to look appealing based on how many horrible things have come their way already. Yeah,
I kind of almost have to agree with you. I am always a never Marsh kind of person, but at this point, oh God. Wow. And
I really see going their way so far is potions are very affordable, and cabins and houses are also reasonably priced. And that's about the only break they've had.
Yeah, so I would say for sure maybe make it back to Crescent, buy some camping gear. It looks like Leggy is going to make the trip up to Ice Cave, try to zap her way through all those undead. Oh no, she's not. She's going to actually head back over to Provoca and I guess pick up all that camping gear that you mentioned earlier. So right now, like with the flag, so we've been talking about the loose canal, right? The canal is always loose. It's not part of the incentive item. It's one of the newer things that you can do in the beta thing. You could choose certain things that don't end up in the incentive pool, like the floater, like the canal, like the ship, and so forth and so on. Before, you couldn't really do that. So we decided we would make, instead of last year where the canal was free, we decided to take the canal away and not even make it incentivized. So you had to go hunt it down.
In effect, kind of pressuring people to check Marsh because there's a good number of chests there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a soft way of putting it back in.
Exactly. So, and a couple of other key differences between this spring tournament and last spring tournament. The towns, of course, as you see, are not shuffled this year. You get a free ship, which was something you couldn't do last year. So you start with a free ship, so you can get those three cities without really getting locked into a bad fiend fight, or not fiend fight, but like Garland fight or something like that. You got your free bridge, of course. The enemy scaling is between 50% and 200%, and the boss scaling is cranked up to 230%, starting as low as 43%. And we've already gone over all the incentive locations, so yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the flags. And we'll be running these flags for the next 5 weeks now. Starting tomorrow, 5 more weeks of Swiss, and then we'll head into some brackets.
And our owners are in a difficult position here. So Marsh is the option, as we discussed. There's also Ice Cave.
Mm-hmm.
I would not be excited to check it out, but Starscream is in the ballpark, and I believe left her ship behind.
Yeah, she went on ahead. She left the ship at the Elfland dock and has been canoeing around using that extended that open progression area. But like I said before, you couldn't get from Crescent to Provoca by canoe in the original game. You had to sail around. But there's like that little grassy area that was just to the southwest of Leggystarscream's screen earlier, and that's kind of where the break is. That way you can sail between Ice Cave and Volcano, and it does look like we're gonna do.
She's going for ice.
Yeah, she is going to go for ice at these levels. I think she's only like level 6, so she does have a warp. She should have a couple of charges of warp, so she can at least do the warp trick.
Yeah,
And like I said, with the zaps,
to get that item.
yeah, with the zaps, she should be okay. But Lord of the Synth is doing the thing that I mentioned earlier. He is going to go on ahead and do a Crescent City grind.
I don't disagree with either play. I think the riskier and more potentially rewarding one is the one Starscream's making.
Yeah, this is definitely a risky play.
The one catch with Ice Cave is it's given how difficult it is in the vanilla game with a lot of death.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost always easier in Rando because the chances of getting more death touch is basically zero.
Yeah.
So it's a bit less crazy than it might seem if you're not familiar with the Randomizer. There's a good chance that all those horrible things got shuffled into Marsh.
Yeah, that is definitely true. The thing with Ice Cave, though, is there really are a lot of different enemies. These wizards, you've got cockatrices and mummies, you've got all the undeads that hang out down here, the specters, the images, the wraiths, and the geists. You've got mages, you've got frost giants and frost wolves. I mean, so there's a ton of different enemy types, and Leggy is going left first. Oh my gosh. I didn't know people did this on this floor. If you're on this,
I've never seen this.
No, I don't. I mean, you go down and you go left. Everyone, I mean, that's the way everyone does it. At least that's what I heard. I mean, Thunder says he goes left and down, but I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, prove it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
She
said.
got away from the Frosties. That's a good sign.
Asher is wrong in chat saying left first. That is not a thing. I don't know what he's talking about. And yeah, don't even talk about the Sky Maze. I can't even right now. I can't. And here's that big enemy pack I talked about with the Wraiths, the Geists, the Specters, and the Images. Luckily, none of them seem to have rolled anything. And
yeah, there's been a shocking lack of armor so far. Like, normally even the fighters got chainmail, but just gotta buckle up.
Man, Leggy getting the worst turn order I think I've seen in forever. It looked like all 8 of those enemies attacked before she even got a chance to fail a run. And Leggystarscream is, she's not interested in that at all. And Lord, a little bit more levels now. I think he got up to level 8-ish. Yep, 8. So he's going to go on ahead and make his Volcano play. Leggy.
And with Warp, it's reasonably safe in Volcano to at least loot the armory, so Leica's chance is there.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll go deeper.
Chat wondering if Leggy did the warp trick. No, she took a wipe right outside of the room where you can do the warp trick.
Yeah, didn't even get there.
Yeah, didn't even get there. And Simple Sarah posted this earlier, and I wanted to mention it. This is one of the few times in this particular flag set that these runners probably wish they had seen a Thor's Hammer in the incentive, because Thor's Hammer is incentivized. It's one of the weapons that rolled into the incentive locations, as well as the Opal Bracelet and the Power Box. And most of the time you find the Thor's Hammer and you think, again, womp womp, because you've got decent AoE damage spells.
Yeah,
these
I've
guys
got
have
Bolt
0.
3. Why do I want a Thor's Hammer, which is like that but weaker? But now that would be it.
Yeah, and Lord of the Synth getting his Vendor Sword. He's going to check the Spike Tile, which we didn't get to see earlier, and see some more Frosties. I could have sworn the Frosties were on the other tile unless Leggy saw it and I just completely spaced out on it.
I don't think this is the case, but do we have the thing that allows Group 8 encounters?
Oh, we do.
Okay, so in the vanilla version of the game, there was a bug, so you didn't actually see the rarest encounters, which are often quite horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's been fixed to add more fun for everyone.
Yeah, so what he's talking about is the Group 8s. Actually, in vanilla, the Group 8s existed. During the randomizers, you could change the rarity around, but that was actually bugged and didn't work. And it would actually delete the Group 8s. But now we've got that fixed, and you will see Group 8s. I'm assuming this particular tile that Lord of the Synth is on is actually just one of our many shuffled spike tiles with B-side tiles. So these are not the same tiles that you see in the vanilla game. These are completely different tiles. And after throwing out a bazillion zaps, Lord of the Synth just goes on ahead and runs away from that battle.
All for a soft.
Yeah, that's rough. But at least he got the Opal Shield, and he can take that, the Katana, sell it, maybe pick up all that level 3 and 4 magic. And then, I don't know, man, Marsh is starting to look good.
Yeah, and he's got his warp caster. Oh, don't, Synth, just run. Fly, you fools.
I mean, I think he wants to check out the rest of the chest. I don't think he's seen the unrunnable fires that are on this floor yet. But yeah, he's getting the business from these Grogers, Wiz Ogres, and Hyenas. And he finally gets away. I think he's realized, he's like, yeah, I should probably cut my losses here. So, man, this magic. This is some of the worst magic I've seen in the early game in a long time. I mean, like I said, you got a bunch of insta-kills, but they're just so horribly inaccurate. Like,
yeah, and the thing is, we don't even have, like, Harm 2, if I'm remembering this correctly. So we don't even have an undead killer, which normally, you know, that's often an ignored spell group because it only works on undead enemies, and people sometimes don't take the white mage.
Yeah.
But, oh boy, not even that. And it would come in handy for places like Ice Cave and Marsh.
Yeah, so I got to ask you this question, Get Daved. We are 24 minutes in. You have not been able to dive out a single dungeon. How are you feeling at this point?
I think not too bad in this situation, because everywhere you go, there's misery, and you know that your opponent's racing the same seed. So I wouldn't get tilted quite yet. I think you can just acknowledge that this is a bad seed so far. It's not like there was nuke available in a slot that only a black mage would have, and you rolled 2 reds, and maybe you don't have to worry about that.
Lord of the Synth getting the great news that the katana is in fact max price, so he was able to get close to 30 grand selling off that katana. He said he's going to be able to pick up all these spells. He's picking up utilitarian spells that you don't typically pick up, like hold, and I don't blame him for it. Like if you can stun things at this point,
you're in a dark spot.
I mean, I would probably pick up Mute at this point on my rig just to get things to stop attacking you. We got Scorpions coming up on Leggy's screen. DMD pointing out the exit at level 3. Great spell. Warp is great. Again, it's not going to kill anything, but it is good to see.
Yeah, it is really helpful in this situation because their odds of successfully walking something out very much in question. So anything to escape the dungeon, I think.
Ooh, unrunnable R Hydras, and you have really no way to kill them except for the Quad X's, maybe. So we're going to get some zaps. We got a good zap. Lands on 1.
I take it, and they survive the hit. That's a big...
Ooh, 2 go down. We're down to 1.
Do you try the Quad X?
Yeah. Yes, you do. Absolutely, you got to try the Quad X. Demi's going to attack for 1. Quad X comes out, makes it through that, gets up to level 8. That is a good battle to see. Go ahead and heal
at this point.
Yeah, I know. I mean, right? But you get a dragon sword for that. So.
It's good. It's almost as good as that giant sword you walk away from.
Which I noticed that Leggy still has the katana in her inventory. Maybe she just kind of forgot about it because, yeah, that's what we, like I said, like to call the vendor sword for sure. Get rid of that thing.
I think there's been no need to sell it yet.
Yeah.
Again, there's nothing really worth buying.
What are the Synth doing? Just gonna go hang out with that with the kindly old king up in the Northwest Castle, just to see what he's all about. I guess storyline purposes. Yeah. But
it's nice to check in. We never call, so
yeah. I mean, we don't.
Old man.
Yeah, exactly. He's the kindly old king up there. He needs a crown. And a whole lot of nothing down here, unfortunately. I mean, you did get the levels. She's going to warp out. She's going to check top marsh. We're going to hope that those 3 chests up there yield something, or else she's going to have to go right back to either Volcano or Ice Cave. And Lord of the Synth is going to go on ahead and check these 2 chests and dwarves. And it would be awful if those 2 chests just had the canal and they could just do whatever they wanted to.
Yeah, one of the early choices you get to make is right or left. Mm-hmm. And if you go left, you just peek over and see what the dwarves have. There's a couple chests available, and neither did that. And at almost the 30-minute mark, it still hasn't happened yet, and that would be the moment my stomach sank if I were racing this and saw, hey, the floater.
Man, Leggy's just getting such bad turn order. Like, she can't run from things. They get to all attack before she can do anything, and then eventually fail her runs. I mean, this is just I am feeling for Leggy at this point. And our sags have heals, so that's just a big old waste of time.
The catch with turn order is also, that's something you can really feel bad about RNG on, because what the game does is it's got the 4 light warriors and they get the spots 1, 2, 3, 4 in the turn order, and then all the enemies go below it, and the game swaps positions between random pairs 17 times. The odds tilt a little bit in favor of the light warriors in that setup. And if you don't get it, there is nothing you can do. Agility doesn't help. You know, you just got to accept it.
Yeah, Lord of the Synth right now, just trying to get any sort of gear too. He's going to go on ahead and hit up Canary and just pick up these copper bracelets. And while they aren't really good, they're 5 absorb. It's something. It's something at this point, because the gold bracelets we already know are like 1 billion gold. And by 1 billion, I mean 41,000.
Take it. The best gear we have is an opal shield, which we won't be able to wear until we find a floater and a tail and make a detour.
Yep, and so Leggystarscream finally making it up to this top marsh. Hopefully be able to check these last 2 chests here, because she did check the link chest on the way down. She's going to run into these werewolves. She's going to throw a Hail Mary Quake out and try to run with everybody else.
I like it, man. It's paying off.
In the original game, dual DMD, you do need the crown, but we have that actually turned off in the randomizer. So in the original game, you had to have the crown to go to ordeals. You have to kill...
almost never know.
Yeah. You have to kill Lich in order to talk to the sages, and you have to kill the vampire in order to talk to Sarda. We have all those early incentives turned on, or off, I mean, so you don't have to worry about that. And the canal was there the whole time!
But on the other side, Leggystarscream finds the Massive Moon.
What? It was in top marsh the whole time?
Yeah, so she's probably going to think about Dwarf, unless, you know, she forgot. And she's got a Massa. You can feel less bad about that, because that's going to be a really big help for the rest of the game.
Well, absolutely. And Lord of the Synth, after finding the canal, I can't imagine he's going to go into Marsh Cave. I mean, everybody wants to avoid Marsh Cave like the plague, so Leggy, I mean, even though she doesn't have the canal, she's got the gear.
Yeah, I think he's not going to go back unless he gets a key and is at the end of his wits. There's no other reason to go back.
Yeah, but we didn't see anything loose down there. That's the problem. Like, there was nothing else loose besides that Massa. So there's literally no reason to go down there.
Unless every other chest is exhausted and maybe it's behind one of the key lockers. Yeah. So I think...
I see what you're saying. Yes, I'm sorry.
It's going to be hours.
Yeah. And unless those 3 chests down there hold a required item, you are right. That could be potential, but...
Yeah. He's virtually going to go without the Massa. You got to hope for Vorpal or X-Cal.
All right, we got a life, red mage learnable and white mage learnable. Cure 4 only going to be white wizard learnable, I think. We finally got some sweeper spells. Lit 3 is learnable by the black mage. The Ice 2 is learnable by the red mage. And Fast is learned by the red mage as well. So you finally got something going on. I mean, these guys got to get some levels. They got to get up to level 12 before they can use them. But at least they finally have some sweeper spells that actually do damage.
Level 5 was the one to find all along. It's too bad you don't get a ton of level 5 charges at the sort of levels when people beat the game at, but it's something.
Yeah. So, looks like Leggy's heading back up to Canaria. Hopefully when she's in that area, she'll go, oh yeah, Dwarf Cave's a thing. Head in there.
I'm sure that has to be the long-term plan.
Yeah,
she doesn't have softs and someone's been turned to stone, so I think fixing that's priority 1, and then you get the other camp.
Yeah, Hangry Canuck wondering, rough start, I'm guessing. Well, let me tell you. Ogres have skills. Hydras have poison damage. Our Sahags have poison damage. The volcano was a bust. Ice Cave, Leggy couldn't even make it to the warp room. Finally, after all that was exhausted, Canal was just hanging out in Dwarf's Cave to begin with, but Leggystarscream did the full marsh clear and got a mass immune for her troubles, so at least we've got that going on for her.
And now I expect both runners are feeling kind of bad and behind.
Mm-hmm. Well, the problem is, too, at this point, with what we have, you've got a chime, so you can hit up Mirage if you're really that desperate. And that's pretty much, and you can do the Ruby turn-in, which actually I'm surprised Lord of the Synth hasn't done yet. He was in the area, he was right next to it. That's 2 incentive items he could have picked up by going through Titan's Trove. So he must have either forgot. I'm assuming forgot is the thing.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he went to Crescent because he did that Crescent City grind. So Leggy getting her good news with the canal means she doesn't have to do, dive volcano or ice cave. She can actually do the ruby turn in.
Yeah, and about to get the good news about Magicka. I mean, a lot of the time you see Nuke or Fade. Between the two of them, you got a 25% chance of one of them dropping Corneria or Provoca. I mean, we haven't seen them, and we've checked all the way up to level 5.
Yeah, so Lord of the Synth back into the Crescent area. I'm assuming maybe going to hit up Volcano or Ice Cave. I don't know. We'll see. Zap lands on the Hydra, so that's pretty cool. We got up to level 9. And Leggy doing the Ruby.
These are the good news bits. 33 minutes in.
Yeah.
It's dark times.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my tracker currently. We did have the Quad X, which was pretty good. You got your Invis 2 and Wall, which are great spells, but that's great for the later game. Again, you got your Zap, your Quake. We had Bane. Again, these are all multi-target spells. They just don't have accuracy.
They're good complementary spells. They're all, like, Bane is unquestionably helpful to have, but you want it as another tool in the tool belt. And
there we go, right there, the key. That's a go mode item right there. You like to see it. Sun Sword, gonna put it on the red mage. Don't blame that play at all. So you got the Massa, you got a Sun Sword.
Yeah, and some good optimization by popping out the exit so she can warp right out.
Yep.
Go do key checks now.
2 loose items. You're still in the Inner Sea. You've already done Crescent, so the only place you can really go. No, you still have ordeals, and you you go to the airship and you get in the air, and then you do key checks maybe.
And I think this is the first big break they've had.
And the problem here is that Lord of the Synth
control the game.
Lord of the Synth could have been in the air right now. He was right there. I think it's just one of those things because Lord of the Synth hasn't really played a seed since last spring tournament. This is one of those newer things. Like, this is a new logic that I don't think he's just aware of or doesn't really think about.
Yeah, back in when we had the last tournament, if you found the ruby, you sort of said, thanks, I'll take the bonus experience, and you walked on some of the time. So now that he's gotten out of the Inner Sea, I think, his mind just might be elsewhere.
Yeah, so he's gonna... Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming he's just trying to get some more levels before he does, like, either an ice or a volcano dive. Ice incentive location. He's got the canal. He could hit up ordeals. He's back in his boat.
Man, if he had a floater right about now.
Yeah, if only. It looks like he is gonna head back towards the Elfland area. The way he's sailing, I'm assuming he's gonna head to ordeals. But we don't know yet. We'll see.
Right, because the crown requirement has been taken away, so we won't get burned like the Northwest Cap.
Yeah, with all the warp charges too, you could get through ordeals in less than like 4 minutes, depending on how many encounters you end up hitting. But
that's a good point, and we do have decent runs at the start of the encounter table, so if you reset, you'll get a good jog before you get bogged down.
Yeah, Leggystarscream has a ton of camping gear, so she's using a lot of that, like, save scumming. It's something I really enjoy doing. I don't like taking that many overworld encounters. And oh my gosh, Lord of the Synth is going to Marsh Cave. I would have never guessed in a million years he'd be heading towards Marsh Cave, but he's going for it.
Galaxy brain routing, man.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't, to be perfectly honest, I would not be doing this ever in the history of time, but it's going to work out for Lord of the Synth because he is going to get that mass immune.
Well, he's going to get the Massa, but what is it he thinks he's looking for?
That is a good question.
Because the ruby is in his inventory.
Yeah. Like, he has the ruby, so that's 2 incentives. You've got ordeals, which is another. You've got waterfall, which is, I mean, he's got 5 incentive locations he could literally go to right now.
Yeah.
But he's hanging out in Marsh Cave, and usually Marsh Cave is reserved for the canal pickup. Again, we know that it's going to pay out. He's going to have the best weapon in the game.
But not progression, so that makes me wonder why he came here.
And
no one's going to come to Marsh and be like, hey, I'll do a second check to see if I can get a good sword. Like, that's...
No. Leggystarscream at the 37-minute mark is going to get in her floater and get inside of the floater, the actual thing, and float around. No, she's going to get in her airship and she's going to sail. What am I even saying? She is going to get in her airship and she is going to go southbound. Finally sell her katana off.
Do you sell the katana for 65 or do you sell the massa for 9?
I would assume that's a tough choice.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice. Going to pick up some silver bracelets. I like the play. It's 15 absorb, the same as a chain armor.
But the chain armor does lower your evade.
Oh my gosh, Nicola, you are so kind to say that I'm awesome. I don't really feel like I'm that awesome, but I appreciate it. Anyways, Leggy's going to go on ahead and do the bottle turn. And the bottle we got really early on, it was from Sarah. So we'll see what the tiny fairy has. And then from that point, kind of the world's your oyster. You have the canoe. You've got the floater. You're in the air.
Yeah, you can go.
You got the key.
Except for deep into a couple dungeons.
And we've got the cube, which means all of Sky is available. Sky. And Sky has
cube.
Sky has 52 chests. So chest density is huge there. You've already done all your... We haven't seen a vendor item.
You can get your levels in stride there as
Speaking of, we've got a loot for 11 grand.
Yeah, now things are starting to turn their way a little bit.
Yeah, so Leggy has really busted this seed open, and there's the massa right there, right next to the link chest. LordoftheSynth's got to be super stoked about this, but man, could you imagine? Like, I don't want to dog on anybody or make anybody feel like I'm dogging on anybody's routing, but man, if these guys had just like hit up Dwarf Cave and got that canal with the ruby that they already had, these guys could have probably been in the air a while ago. So I'm sure when they go back, or they're probably thinking it now, especially Leggy, is probably kicking herself like, dang, if only I had done that. But
I mean, which is why I think both runners think they're behind.
Yeah. Oh, I would definitely think I was behind. If I completely whiffed on a dwarf check and the canal was there, I would be like, oh, well, I just dot forfeit right now and just be done.
Yeah, but, you had that 3 minutes in.
Yeah, but luckily, again, these guys are pretty, or at least were pretty even until Lord of the Synth completely whiffed on the ruby turn in. Hopefully, like I said, he'll it'll come to him. He'll be like, oh yeah, the ruby's right there. And then he'll get his key, he'll get his floater, and then be in the air and get the cube and the loot and all that stuff.
Yeah, I think you have to hope that he opens his menu to use heal potion and notices it there.
Yeah. So Leggy doing the cardia checks. Free checks don't usually take too long, especially if you don't find anything. You could, and with the warp and exit, if you do find something, you can just warp and exit out of those places.
And he's now going to run to ordeals, which I think she's going for just because it's a bit of a quicker check and it's a much smaller commitment than going Sky.
Yeah, it's really only 2 floors long. There's 10 chests that are all on the way. Like you don't have to make any extra steps to check those chests.
Yeah, some of the late Sky chests are a bit of a walk.
Yeah. So and at this point, you're pretty close to go mode. We've got a loot, we've got a key, we've got a cube and a chime. The only thing we really need is the oxshell and the rod, and we're good to go.
And the ability to fight. That's the other go mode.
Well,
we're lagging a little bit there.
Yeah, we don't really have much in the way of gear. I mean, we've got some silver bracelets. I haven't seen anything really knight armory-wise. Fighter armor-wise. We've got a couple of decent knight gear, but not really anything special.
I think even getting one ribbon changes things, but there's full vulnerability to everything, unless the Pro K gives you something that I don't remember.
Yeah, but man, these battles, they're still just so scary. Like, I'm looking at this battle right now, and you're throwing zaps out, and only 2 zaps land out of 7 things, and these Argols are... Luckily, she got the silver bracelet, so at least the Argols aren't just ripping her party apart, but she's just got to...
I'm just going to put this out there. Tiamat 2, harder than Argoyles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's no... We've got fast, we've got massa, so there's a long-term plan in place, but there's not anything that's going to get you there. And survivability is going to be a problem because with no armor, you can't wait for Invis 2 to stack forever.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Leggy, after 3 rounds of combat, was just able to run away after only zapping maybe 3 of those Argoyles. It's just such a time sink when you're trying to kill things with unreliable RNG-based insta-kills, and
Yeah,
they're
you
just
can
not
still have
landing.
bad rolls on attack spells, but it's still some progress versus absolutely.
Yeah, and Leggy getting out of that. Yeah. So here's the deal with this, and I'm thinking, because I think the black mage has a better run chance than the red mage, maybe like have the red mage throw out the AoE and run with everybody else. Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because now our black mage is, oh my gosh, our goals will cremate.
Run with everyone.
Just get out of there. Stop stunning everybody. She's got only 3 people. Oh gosh, she's got 3 people stunned. I think she's throwing out a Cure 4, which is actually a really awesome. Nope.
Well, I think that actually might. I didn't see it because it was fast. That may have been a wall, which would give you some protection against cremate. But I think the reset was the way to go.
Yeah, I think that at that point she knew the writing was kind of on the wall. 3 people stunned, and your white mage is the only person around who has the worst run chance and no attack things at all. At least she has the information how to get through Ordeal, so she should be able to get in and out of this pretty quickly, and hopefully just be able to avoid that Argyle dabble.
Yeah, there is the spike tile that's a little bit of a concern. She got 1 tile away from that. We didn't get a chance to see it. That would have been good information, because they can be bad.
Yeah, and Lord of the Synth finally going to finish up this clear, get his silver helmet, realize he's got everything he can get down here. Still not really sure what he's looking for exactly, but I hope we look in the inventory, we see the ruby, and we get it figured out. Leggy back before the room.
Yeah. Who was there? Did he see it?
Did he see it? We're gonna find out.
The cursor pointed to it right there.
Oh, did he? Did it? I missed
it. It's the first thing in the inventory, so I don't know.
Okay, well, freaking Whiz Ogres with Dazzle too. Get out of here with that. Just 3 hits, 267. Whiz Ogres down. Just go ahead and throw out your GGs. I think we're done here. Leggy takes it. She's able to kill that Whiz. No, wait, there's more to the game. Crap. All right, so Zombie D happening, going down to 211 hit damage. And wow, somebody just got level 10? This is rough. Rough times, I say.
You're getting a master class in a troll seat, though.
This is very true. And yeah, Lord of the Synth, he's sailing east. He's heading back towards the Crescent area.
So my fear for him is that he's going to think, I need to dive ice. It's loose in ice.
Or that he needs the incentive item in ice. Yeah. That's the only incentive location left that he thinks he can get to. Even though Ordeals is there. I think he had to have seen it that time.
Yeah, he failed.
Yeah, he's heading east. We got an Adamant out of Ordeals, but no, he sees it now. There's no way. He looked at his inventory, and he immediately left Crescent. We got Sorias on the Zombie D tile. Oh my gosh, that's some experience if I've ever seen one.
Do you grind it with Zap?
With Quake and Zap. These Leggy needs levels. Like, I take it at least enough times to exhaust your Zap and Quake spells and then get out of there. And that's exactly what she's doing. Like, you're almost 50 minutes into the game and you just got to level 12. Like, we need levels and we need them bad, and we may as well pick up our levels now. We need to be able to cast like the Lit 3 that we saw at level 5 and like actually do damage.
In a jet seat, you would be looking at around maybe high teens at this point and an orb or 2 lit.
Yeah, and it's finally clicked on Lord of the Synth's screen. You know he's got to be beating himself up now because he is heading right there. He is like, if he could, he is probably pushing the left key on his diagonal pad so hard. He's probably like, breaking whatever the keypad is or whatever.
He's just shaking.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, God, get over there. And finally feeds his Titan.
Yeah, that glib Titan. Oh, this is a pretty good ruby.
Yeah, thanks for bringing me a free thing. I guess I'll get out of the way now. I'll let you continue your quest to save my world that I live in. So we got Grovers and Ogres. And Lord of the Synth's gonna get away, I think. Throw some things up.
He's got a Massa. He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. Everything's...
They might dodge every attack, you never know, but he seems to want to fight them.
No. DMD was wondering, can the players see each other's screens? Absolutely not. Actually, that is like grounds for DQ action. If we ever find out that a player is somehow screen watching the VOD, looking at spoilers or getting spoilers from other people, that it would be grounds for an immediate disqualification from that particular race and a potential DQ from the tournament, depending on how the tournament organizers feel. So, luckily, this particular community is kind of on the smaller side. Everyone, no one cheats in our community that we know of anyway. It would be pretty. I think it would be pretty obvious if somebody was cheating.
Yeah, you would have to make a play very random, because the fact is, when you're routing the game, disrupting what you're concentrating on and going off of other information and then keeping track of everything like that, it's almost not worth getting out of your flow.
Yeah, and Lord of the Synth does get...
These runners have a plan that they're executing.
No. And Lord of the Synth does get his key. Leggystarscream's got the adamant. She's going to do Waterfall first. I think she's going to route everything in together. Even though she doesn't... And Lord of the Synth, getting his floater, he's got to be kicking himself at this point. He's like, oh my gosh, I could have had this floater probably 20 minutes ago. Because he was the first in the canal. And the ruby came out of Vicky, right? No, the ruby came from the herb turn-in, which was from Vicky. No, wait, it was the sages. I can't even read my tracking notes.
Pirates had the herb.
Yeah, Pirates had the herb. The herb turned into the canoe. The sages gave the ruby. I gotta figure it out, man. Right here.
Yeah, just rewind.
Yeah, we got it. And Leggystarscream giving us our first look into Waterfall. Waterfall. It's definitely a dungeon with mud golems and nightmares.
Is randomized right now? No. Okay, so she knows the route she's got to walk.
Yeah. This is not pre-gen Waterfall. This is just standard vanilla Waterfall. So Lord of the Synth, of course, he's going to do all the same kind of checks that I'm assuming Leggystarscream did a while ago. At this point, Lord of the Synth's got to feel pretty far behind. What are you thinking?
Yeah, between the difficulty, you've got that as a point of concern.
A little Encounter 8 action happening over here on the right screen. Sorry, I did not mean to cut you off. I just got too excited.
No, she won a lottery of sorts. But yeah, I think Lord of the Synth is, well, you know what? You can't dwell on it.
Yeah. These Gasties either ate their Cheerios or went on ahead and went to agility school because you couldn't land a hit on them, and they rolled over 300 hit points.
Yeah, and that was
get away from it.
A little bit of punishment was dealt, too.
Yeah. And Lord of the Synth finally up in the air at the 50-minute mark. And we got worms. That is a good tile. Is she going to throw some quad X's out and see what happens over here? We don't got poison touch. Quad X coming out. Ineffective, not surprising, because they do have pretty high... wow. They have a lot of HP.
481.
Yeah. Well, their base HP is over 400 hit points, so they'd have to roll low. They'd have to roll close to that 50% mark in order for you to quad X them to begin with.
Yeah. The concern is, with the hit point randomization ranges, they could be up around 800. Just lost a...
Yeah, it looks like they're somewhere around the 600 mark, between 480 and 600 is what I saw.
Yeah, kill it and don't do this again.
Oh my! And but it looks like we are going to go on ahead and make it through this battle. Should not be an issue. One more attack. We're going to get in Biz 2.
Real attacks, which is nice. There's no cremate. There's no thunder.
Yeah, just they hit it pretty hard. But I'm assuming a fight and another Invis stack and then a quad X should do it on this last worm. Unfortunately, she does not get the experience on her fighter, but everybody else gets up to level 17.
I'm going to take that as a blessing in disguise because she's got life and you're going to need spell charges.
Yep, so Lord of the Synth's going to talk to the tiny fairy, get his cube one step closer to go mode. I saw Vorpal.
Nobody
and
likes
we got
that.
Yeah, the Vorpal and the second Pro Cape. I think I'd be more excited about that Pro Cape than that Vorpal. They already have the massive. What are you going to do with the Vorpal?
Yeah, they had a giant sword. Who needs a Vorpal?
I know. I was thinking the same thing. Big sword, Vorpal. So yeah, gonna go on ahead. Probably hang on to the Vorpal in case one of the later fiends rolls pretty high in agility. Vorpal does have a pretty high crit rate, which is why a lot of people do talk about it. So if you do run into a Kraken 2 or a Tia 2 or Chaos that has like really high evade, you can land some crit actions. Lord of the Synth right now going to do some key checks, get a pro ring for his problems.
The other thing is, we knocked the katana. It's like a Vorpal, but better. The only knock on it is only ninjas can use it. And to get a ninja, you need to pick a thief. And to pick a thief,
you're just wrong.
You need a gun to your head.
Yeah. And we're going to get the adamant turn in from Leggystarscream. Turns into the slab. So we're just going to be kind of all over the place right now with that. And then I'm assuming she'll do the crown turn in and do some of these key lock checks as well. So Leggy's routing has actually been pretty awesome since she got the connect, or since she was able to find that connect, because she's routed everything in kind of perfectly.
Yeah, got a world tour trying to get the go mode item.
Got an X-Cal.
Loose X-Cal.
Yep. So if you didn't find that master, at least that X-Cal is gonna X-Cal completely worthless because we have the master, but whatever, still something. It's a vendor sword.
I'm a little bit on Team X-Cal. I think it gets a bit of a bad rap. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's great if you don't have the master.
Yeah, it's just a shame. It does taper off against Chaos, but it can get you through the game right up until the very end.
Yeah, the only and then of course she's going to have to head back into Dwarf's Cave, unfortunately, because she didn't do the crown turn in for us, which ended up turning into the TNT. So we're going to have to do the double dip of Marsh Cave or of Dwarf Cave. No huge deal. I like Lord of the Synth.
That's a quick double dip.
He's doing his cheeky Topher dive for the lock chest there. He's going to be rewarded with werewolves and gerwolves. And by rewarded, I mean he's going to fight him.
Do you think this is a bit of a desperate play from Lord of the Synth?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think this is a bit of a gamble to try.
He's hoping for a loose required item. He wants to see like Rod or Oxyel there, which I think we no, we have not seen the Oxyel. Yeah, so he wants like something that leads to Rod or Oxyel in here, because kind of one of those checks a lot of people don't think to make. They'll hit all the other key locked locations, but they may not hit that because it is kind of time consuming for 3 chests. And we got a vanilla rune sword. What? Is this game even randomized?
One of them usually ends up where it started, but
all right, so we got a TNT.
He throws his Hail Mary pass and gets the rune sword. It's a bit of a tough one.
It's gonna be night of the fetch quests happening over here on Leggystarscream's screen as crown turns into TNT, which turns it into the crystal, and a whole lot of bupkis happening there in Lock Toad.
Yeah, Lord of the Synth comes away with 12 bucks.
Yeah, Leggy's gonna go on ahead. She realizes she has like pretty much no spells for her people, so now she's gonna actually pick up some spells.
Yeah, and she's got the money.
Yeah, definitely has the money.
I think the one thing that could swing things in Lord of the Synth's favor is if he finds a couple loose ribbons. That could go a long way because Leggystarscream, total vulnerability to getting baited.
Yeah, because we have not seen. Yep. Sorry, did not mean to cut you off, but we have not seen any ribbons, like you said.
If that comes up in Topher, where you get some bad rolls, like a nuke and nuclear combo is always dangerous, but now you're kind of vulnerable to thunder and those sorts of things too. So until some ribbons fall or anything with just good immunity, dragon armor and a tail, there's always going to be a little bit of a concern that, okay, if an enemy punches hard, you're going to go down, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, Burt Reynolds is a huge fan of the quintuple dive of Dwarf's Cave, which, I mean, sometimes you got to check like the 3 left chests, warp out, go do some stuff, come back, check the 4 middle chests, warp out.
Yeah, and that Hooray Dwarf is always there for you. You owe it to him and just give a...
Yeah, and nobody said hi to the Hooray Dwarf. Did you see anybody do it? Because again, I'm not sure what's happening.
Where they came from, man.
Yeah. And Rod, so we are 1 key item away from Go Mode on Leggystarscream's screen, and which means at this point, we know that whatever is in Incentive C is not required. It's either going to be the tail, it's going to be the power bonk, the Thor's hammer, or the opal bracelet. We know that ice will house one of those things, and then we know the other 2 things will be loose. Because we've seen all quest turn-ins. We haven't seen the slab turn in yet. I know we picked up the slab, but nobody's actually translated the slab and made their way over to the Lefane. And oh my gosh! Oh no, that was Leggy that did that earlier. Okay, because if Lord of the Synth also went left here instead of down left, I might have freaked out on.
Life's been a lie.
My life's been a lie this whole time. You always go down and left. I don't know what this left and down is, because you got to eventually go left once you get down here. There's too many inputs. Should not have to put in 3 inputs to do this thing, is all I'm saying.
There's something we don't know. It's like 1 tile shorter that way.
Oh, Lord. Of the Synth is heading into Ordeals, and he's going to go on ahead and get through the pillar maze, hopefully. And he's going to check the tile here, get an Anklo. Everyone loves an Ankylo. Ankylosaurus.
Oh, man. He's not getting the breaks.
No, he's really not. And hey, at least we can quad X a Frosty down here.
Also, I'm going to correct one thing I said before about needing a ribbon super badly. They do have wall, which if you remember to eat your vegetables basically at the start of the fight, you'll be okay. But you do have to give up some turns.
Yep. I mean, I prefer the ribbon over the wall, but the wall will work. And we get the incentive Opal bracelet, the thing I mentioned earlier, Opal Cheerio. It is the best armor for anybody except for your fighter in the game. It has 34 absorb with only a -2 evade penalty, and we've got a horse and a guy. Horse and a guy. A bad man feels bad. Let's see what happens here.
Yeah, there could be a little bit of trouble. I think Starscream's got enough good things on her side now. But
what? First off, I've never seen Lit 3 do that kind of damage to a nightmare, and secondly, first turn zap on a bad man? Her luck is turning around big time. She's going to go ahead and full clear ice.
See, it had him in the first half.
Yeah, really did. And now she's getting all the luck she needs to get through this. And this is the worst. You know what? If I was her, I would warp back to the top row and take the Nightmare Badman battle over this battle. Like, there's no way I want to deal with Badman or Man Cats and there's Medusa.
Okay.
And then she takes it anyway. It's fine. You know what? I'm just a simple guy. Yeah.
They don't seem to be that strong.
Yeah.
So she's got that going for her.
Yeah, it's not like vanilla where Man-Cats just like spam fire too.
Also, I gotta say, one of the great things about this game is that there's a certain boldness in putting both in your game. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah, I definitely agree with that statement.
See it in the subsequent Final Fantasy.
We got a ribbon. We got a ribbon. It's awesome. You only need one, man. You got life somewhere. You just got to keep your life caster alive.
It's fine.
Yep. And that's exactly what she does. Puts the ribbon on her White Mage Demi. And spiders. Spiders and spiders. Double spiders. Lord of the Synth gonna do the old double check on the link chest there. Just make sure he got it. When he fought that Anklo earlier. Got a mage stick. Oh my god. We finally got some AoE and a mage stick. We can do fire too. And it's actually going to come in handy here. It's actually going to work here.
Yeah. Also would have been really handy on that marsh dive.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Late than never, and they're both doing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, and then Lord of the Synth's got to, like, he sees the Saria battle. He knows he's going to get good experience from it. He's only level 13, so he's going to take it a couple times. But, man, he had already done, like, an overrolled Crescent City grind. So now he's going to do another grind, so just getting a little bit further behind.
Yeah, now Starscream took this grind, so he's not exactly losing time relative to what she was doing after the floater.
Exactly. He
does have to make up some space, and he's running out of options. Doesn't know it, but I think feels behind.
Yeah. And we got a pro ring. That's pro ring number 2 now. And Leggy gonna check this last check, hit exit, and get out of here.
Pro ring's a big find. Death protection.
8 absorbs.
Yeah, both. Yeah, it's a great piece of equipment. Anyone can use it.
Yep, best gauntlet in the game. And that is the best gauntlet in the game for anybody, including... I would put the pro ring on a night all day long, every day, all the time. And now, finally, going to head back into Volcano and exact some sort of revenge while she's down there, because she had a rough go in Volcano about 50 minutes ago.
Yeah, I gotta find those ill-placed Frosties and put them in their place.
So at this point, yeah, she is. She's not gonna check the rest of the chests. I think she only did the Volcano Armory. I don't think she checked any of the other chests up there. We're still looking for 2 loose items. So interesting.
So, sometimes people will clear the bowels of Volcano, and then they can come grab a couple chests and warp out or reset.
No, and yes, exactly. And there's plenty of chests down here to check as well. She's probably just banking.
She's checking low first, which
exactly.
That's good routing.
Yeah, she's banking that those 5 chests up top don't have anything, whereas these 15 chests down here do. So
and I think this is technically faster.
Yeah,
because it enables you to reset out if you don't get top.
And Lord of the Synth gonna turn in his adamant that he got from War Deals and get the slab and do key checks here as well, which I don't think he did earlier.
Hey, gold ring found.
Yep. Gold ring, second to best Majorly armor in the game, has 24 absorb with only -1 evade penalty, so it's pretty awesome. And it's a vendor item, so it's the best vendor armor in the game. Well, besides the steel armor, but is how I feel about the steel armor.
Yeah, steel armor, you lose a lot of evasion with it too. That's resigning to a certain type of lifestyle for your fighter.
Exactly. And she is going to take this battle with these Frost Dragons. And again, exact a lot of revenge against these Frost Dragons, because these Frost Dragons, they were not nice to her the first time.
Yeah, well, I think justice was served.
Yeah, clearly. We got the gold bracelet on. She's gonna try. She runs into a bunch of bull. And for the first time in a long time, looks like Lord of the Synth and Leggystarscream are going to be getting the same. That's pretty dope. Pretty happy with that.
I mean, if a couple things go Lord of the Synth's way, he could end up finding stuff, like if he finds a loose item up top, or the fact is, Starscream has not lit any orbs yet.
Wait, is somebody talking about the... Okay, first off, there's only one way to do Ice 2. It's down and left. Okay? Chat, Min the Mage, I'm not sure why you're bringing it up. DMD is right that it is always down and left. The end. There's no... Oh, we got a Thor's Hammer! We got our first loose item! It's not the loose item you want to see, but it's our first one. It gives you a little bit of info.
You know what? You know that's one less thing you have to look for, and lit 2, I'd take it.
I'd take it at this point too, because they, like I said, the first four levels didn't have anything as far as like damage AOE. Ah, we got Mad Ponies, perfect. Just
and
grind
they're
these
gone.
forever, and they're gone. Yeah, I mean, Min the Mage is right. You always want to find fuck. I don't even know what I'm saying. And I use bad language. I'm sorry. Don't hate me.
DQ.
Yeah, exactly. DQ. Just get me out of the tourney. I'm gonna get a strongly worded email about that one. Mjolnir, thank you. Oh, DMD's calling me out. Thor's Hammer is garbage, but it's one of our loose, and that's all that really matters.
This garbage is the second best AoE attack spell.
Karant telling me to get in the swear jar. Karant, good to see you. One of our many spring tournament competitors. A field of 74 people. It is by far the largest spring tournament FFR has ever done. It is almost 50. It is more than 50% larger than last year at only 46. So we've been running 37 races this particular week. We'll do 36 races next week. It's going to be insane. We can't even handle it. We're just we're excited to be here for 2020 spring tournament on our last battle. Our last battle of week 1 of Swiss, our last O&Os, and then we're going to pair up our 1-1s tomorrow and our O&1s tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'm going to be presenting the pair-ups. Leggystarscream is going to be presenting it, as well as Dangwoo. We're all going to be there going over all the different pairings tomorrow at 9 p.m. So please come back to Randomania then, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited about it.
I do hope you open with an apology for that. sailor talk you just put out there.
Yeah, it was like a half a swear. I was like, you know, like when you say a word but you can't get it back.
You
You're like,
gotta put $1.50 in the swear jar.
Exactly. Like I said, strongly worded email from HR, I'm sure. And oh my God, we're gonna get our first fiend battle. We got
You also
Invis.
missed a really compelling spike tile with nothing but imps. It was a short fight.
I did see it. I did happen to look at it. It was 6 imps and 3 grimps. As Wall
it ended
comes
with
out.
a lot of people running.
Ooh, 4 hits, 81. Carrie just. I'm not sure if those swords that she has in her hands are made of anything. Must be made of vorpals or something.
Yeah.
Lock 2 coming out. I'll lower some evade there.
That is a decent attack from Carrie, but I think with Amasa and these levels, she's outmatched.
Yeah, I think so too. Because right now we've already done
skill drops.
close to 400 hit points. The Quad X, is it gonna land? It is gonna land. You love to see the insta kill on a fiend. Erase, get out of here at 1 hour, 8 minutes. We have our first orb lit on Leggystarscream's screen. And hopefully she remembers to do the slab thing. Because we still haven't done it yet.
Yeah, and we have 1 loose item and 1 away from go mode. So that slab turn in could save a lot of time.
Yeah. We already know that we already know the slab is going to turn into something. It could either turn into the power bonk or the tail, right? Because that's what we have, or the Oxio. We know that the tail or the power bonk is in C because the Oxio can't be in C. So it's just a 50-50 here, whether we're going to get the Oxio or we're going to have to dive some dungeons looking for the loose Oxio.
Yeah, and the power bonk would be nice. I don't believe we have temper.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's there, but it sure beats looking for a horrible Topher revisit. Topher, and I think it might not be that based on how much terrible stuff came our way early. So the enemies they're not trending terrible.
No. Leggystarscream finally remembering or just needs to pick up life and that cure 4 and some, yeah, she can't pick it up on the red mage at all. Not even the red wizard can get that cure 4, unfortunately.
So if we find the tail, do you take the time to promote?
Oh, absolutely. With this party, absolutely. Because you want to. Well, I don't know. Let me look at level 1 spells again. For they're not very good. Yeah, Invis 2, Wall, Heal 3.
I guess Wall might do it.
Ruse. No, you can't get Ruse. So maybe. I mean, we haven't seen the Dragon Armor or the Aegis Shield, so it might be quicker not to do it.
Local Armor is the same strength as Dragon Armor, it just doesn't have the good resistance.
Wait. Who sold? Oh, I was like, wait. Somebody sold the Massa? Leggy, did she talk to Dr. Yoon when she was in Melman just now?
I don't.
Well, she clearly thinks she did. I don't see the slab in her inventory, so she definitely did.
I don't remember it happening. I thought it was just a magic purchase, but then someone mentioned selling Massa, and we don't joke about that. I would never do that.
Yeah, that was too distracting. I can't have DMD talking about selling Massas. This is too much. Our tracker, Danny3883, is here making sure that I barely know what I'm talking about because I don't. But at least she's here just throwing stuff down. We got our Oxio. We're in go mode.
I was right and we were wrong. Good news, everyone.
So at this point, we know we're looking for we know that Incentive C is going to be either a power bonk or you're an hour 11 in. You had a rough start at the C. You have pretty good gear. We don't have temper yet. Do you check mermaids to see if you get the 50-50 on the power bonk versus the tail?
I think you check mermaids and nothing else.
Yeah, you just make a beeline to mermaids, see what's down there. If it's the tail, you reset out. If it's I guess I wouldn't reset out of either. I would exit out. And then
experience points.
Yeah, Leggy's not going to do that. She's going to go on ahead and head over. Routing decision, I like it. Just going ahead and do Sky real quick. She's got a ribbon.
I'm going to be curious if she checks the chests that are along the way.
Yeah, I could see her maybe doing some greed checks.
Yeah, in the diamond room, maybe you check them all, but I think you just go for it. You have fast and mass, which decreases the need for a power bonk or temper a little bit. You have the Vorpal if you're in big trouble, and you can always hope that you can deal damage, basically.
Yeah.
Or you can do Deng strats. You know, you've got Quake, Zap, Bane. You got the whole family. Just throw those out and see what happens.
Pretty much. And luckily we got the Fire 2s. We're gonna mow down these Whiz Mummies, trying to get some levels on the way up. Because I think her levels, she hasn't hit the 20s yet, or she just got to 20.
It's in that ballpark.
Yeah. Lord of the Synth misstep there is gonna go on ahead and take these Frosties again, and they're putting the hurting on them. Luckily able to get away. Got us soft. Yeah, Wab pointing out how rough that magic looks. It's pretty bad. It's no hold, sleep, slow bad, but it's pretty bad.
It's near the worst you can possibly get, because the thing with the randomizer is the game is sort of balanced so the best stuff is near the back end of the game, and it's almost certainly going to put some of the good stuff right near the beginning, or at least the middle. It didn't happen tonight.
Yeah, and Leggystarscream gonna take these. No, not gonna take our giant Nagama tile. Also went the wrong way around that room. Everyone knows you go left around that room and not right. So I'm not really.
Yeah, that might be the race.
That might be the race. We're gonna see.
If not the tournament.
We've got Fire 2s coming out on these metal slimes, and look at that Imp Grimp battle. Give it to me.
Yeah, I think Synth got it easy on that one. Only 6 imps.
Not too bad, not too bad. Like he's going to head southbound. Not going to check any of the spider room, which I don't blame her for that.
No, that's a slow room. There's a decent number of chests, but you got to go through quite a bit to get them.
Yeah, I'm in the mage wondering if they did a draft. They did not. Lord of the Synth didn't feel comfortable doing the draft. He's been away from the randomizer for a little over or about a year now. But then they ended up picking the same party anyway, so there you go. It's really.
If you were to guess on the party someone would pick in flag sets, this has got to be the most.
Yeah, Fighter Rainbow has been probably the most popular self-drafted or self-picked party we've seen this particular tournament. If draft happens, you can tell because it's goofy stuff like black belts and thieves and no major league classes, or just like a fighter. And we got Lord of the Synth taking on the craziest looking carry I've ever seen. Bane's not going to land at all. We got an Invis 2 coming out. Going to get that evade stack up. Gotta like it. Fighter, 4 hits and some damage. Blaze coming out. We didn't even see that on Leggystarscream. And
okay, he's got a fast and he's got a quad exit. Is he going to throw?
I don't even want to talk about it right now. We just know that Neil is down, and I'm just going to leave it at that. Heal 3 is going to come out. A little bit of a slideshow happening on Lord of the Synth screen. We got 3 hits, 533. Carries down. Lord of the Synth is going to light up his first orbit in 1:15. And Leggy's going up. What is...
I think you're behind on the directional meta. It's the only explanation.
No, it is... You go right twice. You go right, up. Everyone knows. You save a step, you do that. This is... It's fine. Everything's fine.
And again, the maze is not randomized in this.
It is not. It is not randomized maze. It's just, go a direction twice and you're good to go.
It is possible that's the step that will save her from fighting Warmack.
That is true, because we are... Yeah, I was going to say, we are almost to the Bridge of Destiny, which means you know what you need to do. Chat knows what they need to do. Get out the long-haired guy that does the praying thing on the emoji guy, and let's get some Bless RNGs out here in just a moment if Leggystarscream can ever get away from this battle. Can we get away from this battle?
Yeah, the Mad Cats have some decent magic defense, unfortunately.
They are resistant. Yeah, I was going to say they're resistant to all elementals. And Lord of the Synth, believe it or not, from what I can tell on his screen, he's going to get his slab turning done now, and he's not that far behind Leggystarscream all of a sudden. If he does this, he will be in go mode as well? I'm looking at his inventory.
He's missing a couple things. But
he is missing a loot. He has not seen the vendor item yet, which we know is in the Oasis. He didn't get the crown? Is that what I'm seeing?
He's got the key, so he's not going to get the late Topher.
Yeah, and the crown came from the robot, so he's not done waterfall yet. So he is not going to be in go mode. Actually, he needs the crown. And we
Did
know
he
that the
translate
crown
slab?
eventually turns into the rod after a big old fetch quest.
I think he realized the slab was untranslated.
Oh, that's rough. At least he didn't get looped. We haven't seen. I have been watching this tournament like crazy because I am one of the tournament directors, so I've been watching all the matches this week. I have a lot of free time now because of this whole thing that's going on. So I've been watching the matches, and I've yet to see a loop. So we almost got it.
Speaking of the tournament, a big thank you to Randomania for.
That's right. Randomania is our host tonight. Gouda, 632, the cheese himself, is doing our restream today, so give him a follow. And you know what? If somebody in chat wants to go on ahead and throw out the little, like, exclamation point R or whatever to get the the information for the Discord and the commentators and the restreamer and whatever, do that stuff. High Spirits got me covered.
All right, I'm no expert here, but I think LordoftheSynth might be a little frazzled. He got the slab translated and immediately.
And then immediately what?
Castle, where he went without the crown before. I think there might be a little bit of nerves kicking in.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling some sort of way. And he's going to head over to Ice Cave, which we know Ice Cave is not required. There was nothing loose in there, and it only led to the opal bracelet. And right now, he needs to be avoiding this place if he has any chance of getting caught up to Leggystarscream. We did not see a Warmech, but we are going to see a Tiamat. We got the four-headed beast of the air on screen, thinking about what she wants to do. We got a wall coming out. It's going to protect her Red Mage. Red Mage is going to throw a wall out on the fighter. Protect
I like
the fighter.
that. Responsible strats.
Yep. Fast lands. 5 hits, 157.
That's
so we
not
know
great damage for 5 hits. You're probably okay. Unless, okay, there's some decent hitting, but I don't think you have to worry about that. Your only concern is that he gets you before the end of his to start layering up, and I think you're okay on that regard.
Yeah, Wab, I'm looking at the tracker right now. I've not seen Temper, so I'm assuming Temper is going to be completely class locked unless these guys dig out the tail. Now, we know that the tail or the power bonk is going to be in Sea Shrine, but we don't know that yet. A 7 hits, 150. We got chip damage for 20 coming out of that mage stick, and prior to knocking Boom down to 45 hit points. We got lock strats happening. I like it. Heal 3 coming out. Best AoE heal in the game. She's trying to think of what she wants to do.
Start casting Fog.
She didn't pick up Bane, which I'm pretty sure was level 4. So she doesn't have like the insta-kill she could do on Tia. Probably hurting for that. Quadex is going to come out. That's a Hail Mary because we have only done like maybe 400 damage to Tia. So she would have to, I don't think she's in Quadex range even if she rolled the lowest she could possibly roll. 7 hits for 147. Mage Stick coming out for another 24 damage. Lock is not broken, Rumblefish 82. We have fixed it since you were here last year. It does work every time, 100% of the time. Hold coming out, stunning that black belt. Ice 2 coming out, doing chip damage. Mage Stick, another bit of chip damage. We've done about 700 hit points of damage. Red Mage coming out, 2 hits, 56.
Quad X again right now. Do you throw Quad X at home?
At this point, I would definitely try because you're at least over 430 hit points. And we know that's the lowest Tiamat could roll. So she's trying to think about it. She's going to get a Cure 4. Oh, no, that is bad. That is bad turn order. Bad Tia attacking that Red Mage before that Cure 4 could come off. And Lord of the Synth going to get his oval bracelet as we continue to call this match. Quadex comes out. Ineffective still, so we are still not within 300 hit points. Luckily, Tia is just throwing out a bunch of garbage spells.
Only 51 damage from the Massa attack.
Yeah, that's no good. And she's hurting for those tempers, and she's hurting for that power bonk. So this might be a situation where I can imagine her going into Sea Shrine and at least checking mermaids to maybe get the power bonk or the tail for the promotion and maybe be able to pick up temper. Even if it's at level 8, you can grind up to like 25, so you have like 1 casting of it, I guess. I don't know. But
it's something. Tia just fasted himself as well, so we've got a little bit of concern now.
No, I definitely agree with you because Tia.
Dark, I don't know how you rebound from that spell.
Ooh, 8? Yeah. Oh gosh. Wait. Who's talking about dark? All of a sudden.
Let's go to dark.
Oh my gosh. Well, luckily it didn't land on anybody because I know they didn't pick up lamp.
Yeah, that'd be a straight reset.
Yeah.
Easily. Fog, come back.
Yeah. I mean, you just have to insta reset. If dark hits and you don't have lamp, you can't do anything. I mean, you're doing you're doing one hit, one damage at that point. You're not even landing.
She dodges another quad axe.
Yeah, so she
Which I think
is.
has got to start being a little freeing. This is going to be a long fight.
Yeah, and oh man, 8 hits, 28 damage. I mean, the thing with the scaling is that she can roll anywhere between. Oh, the mage stick for. Wait, how did Quad X not land earlier?
It must have been at 301.
That's crazy. But we did it. She finally gets the clutch kill on Tiamat. House is up. We're good to go. She's getting out of there with her second orb lit at 1 hour 22 minutes. And Lord of the Synth is going to zap down some man cats.
Yeah, gets out of there, revives her friends, tells them what happened on the way home, and straight to Sea Shrine. So,
Yes.
Does this push you to mermaids now and hope for the power bomb?
Yeah. I mean, I just mentioned. Yes, of course. That's a scary battle you just had.
With the tail, you promote and see if you can get a level 8 temper or wherever it landed.
Yeah, because I don't know if she stepped into level 7 spells. I'm going to look at my tracking notes here. We don't have anything for level. Actually, we don't have anything for level 6, 7, or 8, so we don't know if Temper is in one of those spells.
6 would be okay.
A 6 would be fine. We got Ice 3 at max price. You don't pick that up for any reason ever. And Lord of the Synth picking up his second. I didn't even see that ribbon in Ice Cave. I just completely glassed over it. And Leggy is going to do. Yeah, sometimes. I mean.
We looked at it.
What?
You know what? You get one that's the wrong color. You know, you don't feel it. It's a red mage. You can't put a.
Yeah, DM Deep, just being a total troll here and talking about how Temper is level 8 in Lefane, the old vanilla nuke slot. If it's there, they're not getting it. Well, maybe Lord of the Synth might get it, but I don't think Leggy's going back for it. And I know you're just having a good time. I'm having a good time as well. Get Daved is here with me. I'm Gregory Puff. We're just having a blast calling the last race of Swiss. Round 1.
The race is not disappointing. I mean, we got a rough seed here, so you're seeing some runners that have to pull out all the stops.
Dude, did you see another max price spell? I think that was, what was that, like fog? It wasn't fog, it was like some dumb black magic spell you would never buy anyway, but it was like 65 grand. Like, who picks that up? Why?
Yeah. And with level 7 fog, I'm going to redact my earlier statements about taking.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, and DMD pointing out, yeah, for a mage heavy, and the thing is that the odds are you're gonna roll something that's learnable, but at this point, it looks like Nuke and Fade or level 8 are in vanilla slots. Like, yeah, this is insane as far as magic is concerned. Let's see if this Thor's Hammer gets any use while we're down here in Sea Shrine.
I think it has to. You've got the 3, but you toss that Thor Hammer on the white. They can swing it if they want, but you've got lightning on everybody.
Yeah, so Leggystarscream, even after that crazy Tiamat battle, she is not interested in picking up whatever the. Oh no, Gersharks with Death Touch. Oh God, why? Like, they already hit hard enough, but
so
why?
earlier in the stream, I talked about how Ice Cave was less dangerous because the really bad things would probably get randomized to. Here we are.
Here we are. And Gersharks, they're only like all over Sea Shrine.
Yeah, and not in Quad X range.
No, and Lord of the Synth is going to get his Oxio here now that he's finally translated the slab. I'm assuming at that point he'll hit up Waterfall, probably do Sea Shrine as well. Do the Crown Quest and finally be in go mode at some point in time. But Leggy has a huge advantage right now. She's got 2. Yeah, she's doing Kraken first. She's not doing Mermaid. She's not interested in what the mermaids have. She doesn't need that. She doesn't think she needs the tail or the power bonk.
I'm a little surprised by this play. The one thing Leggy could just be hoping for, maybe everyone else isn't going to roll defense like Tiamat did. The other catch is maybe there's a plan to grind up and get a little bit more.
I forgot the Arsenags had poison damage. It's so bad. I didn't even mention it earlier when I saw it. But yeah, Arsahags have damage poison, and these packs are unrunnable, and they're probably going to spam it if they're not spamming heal. Luckily, they do have a spells list, so heal is on the spells list side, and the poison damage is on the skills side. But oh my god, if any more poison. Yeah, that's a reset.
So do you check mermaids?
Ooh, that's a big old UFO for sure. And Lord of the Synth getting his Oxio. Like I said, probably going to hit up Waterfall. Hopefully, we'll remember to check the vendor item because I don't think he checked the caravan earlier. He did not. No, wait. Does he have the loot? I saw his screen for a second. I'm going to look at the tracker. He does not have the loot. Yeah, let's see it on the tracker.
It's right there.
It's right there. Why don't you click it? If you click it, he'll have it, right?
He's right past it. Yeah. Unless he walks, he could canoe across the river and walk.
Yeah, DMD wondering what was in Lefane. That was the Oxio. The Oxio is exactly what put Leggystarscream in go mode, which is why she didn't check many chests while she was in Mirage and Sky. Lord of the Synth is going to do the waterfall play. We know we're going to get a crown out of there. Leggy's still going to go Kraken side, so she's still not interested in that tail or power block, which is, hey, it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah, I think this is where it starts coming down to the personality of the runner a little bit. There's the one type of person who will hit the wall and then just try hitting it to see if they can push through.
Yeah.
And the other one, if it fails, they adapt and try a new strategy.
Oh my god, Boom just got hit with dark.
Boom got dark?
Yeah, Boom's. Oh,
F to respect.
Alright. I'm just going to go on ahead and moment of silence. Alright, we're good. So she made it through that. She made it through that battle okay, even though Boom was dark. Boom made it through. I think she needs to move that. She really needs to move that mage staff onto her, or she needs to move the Thor's hammer onto her white mage so she can actually do real damage against these enemies instead of using the mage stick. Because I know she has it.
You take more damage.
There we go. She must have heard me. She must have, like, literally heard my thinking. And yeah, now the Thor's hammer is going to actually do some damage since, she's outlet too. Does a little bit better damage. And Danny pointing out that Lord of the Synth does have the loot. Missed it on the tracker. No biggie.
So, with the waterfall check now, Lord of the Synth, they're not completely out of it. There's a lead they got to make up, but it looks like Sea Shrine's doing everything it can to help them out. Because this is what you hope for when you're behind, is that your opponent hits something where it's kind of a coin flip whether or not you make it through.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Like, right now, Lord of the Synth is trying to zap these worms down. These worms have, like, mega high MDef. It's not going to work, so he's just going to go on ahead and get out of this battle. But yeah, I mean, if Leggystarscream can get, like, really held up in a dungeon, if she keeps running into those Arsahag, Wizsahag battles and can't mow them down, which she's only a few steps away from just getting away from that encounter completely, then maybe Lord of the Synth can make up a little bit of ground.
And she is starting to check chests along the way, which makes me wonder if she's starting to... Okay, maybe I want the power bomb.
I think that was just some greed checks. Maybe like to get the third ribbon, or I'm sorry, the second ribbon. Like you said, maybe that loose item because she knows the tail and or the power bonk is out there somewhere. Let's see here, I'm gonna look at his inventory. He's got a ribbon. I could have sworn we saw a second ribbon. I remember that ribbon in Ice Cave. Did we see another ribbon besides that one?
No, I think that was the one that was picked up.
Okay, just making sure. Checking the
we got two more out there somewhere, and honestly, we're running pretty low on the chests that the runners are going to check unless there's a shift to mermaid, because I don't think people are going to poke around Earth Cave if they can avoid it.
Yeah,
no one looks around Topher.
Yeah, and with this party comp, you really don't need more than the one ribbon. I mean, you'd like to have more than one ribbon, of course, but as long as you keep a ribbon on your white mage and your white mage can survive things like nuke and stuff or physical attacks, then you can always bring your people back to life after fiend battles. Which this is something Speaking of, we're gonna get a Kraken battle here. You want to go ahead and give it?
Well, first off, let's just find out what she's going to go with here. The full wall setup, bouncing straight into offense, setting up in Viz 2. Going to probe Kraken's defenses with the massive hits, see if they can do a little bit more damage than before. Fast goes out with a good Turo. Okay, you know what? It's going to be a tough day. Kraken hits, devastates the Black Mage, and right back at him. Vengeance is Starscream, and Kraken's dead before we can finish the thought.
Yeah, Vengeance was
one to go.
I was gonna say Vengeance was definitely hers.
I didn't think it would go that way.
Yeah.
They bust the narrative I was forming.
And so we got our crown turn in. We know we're gonna do the TNT, which is gonna eventually lead to the crystal, which is then eventually going to lead to something. The rod, which is going to put Lord of the Synth in go mode. So he'll be in go mode here in just a moment. A little bit over an hour 34-ish is when he's going to get that turned in. And Leggy's pretty far ahead, hanging out in Melman. Going to pick up steel armor. It's the best thing she's seen so far. Not a bad play when you don't have promotion and you haven't seen ice or flame armor.
It does have a huge penalty to evade, so again, you are choosing that your fighter is take all the hits, basically.
Yeah.
And you just gotta hope that you can have such high resistance that you push them all down to 1. But we've got no flame armor, no ice armor, no nothing.
Yep, and Leggy is going to go on ahead and just go mode to Earth. I'm assuming she'll take like a couple of greed checks along the way. Next to the vampire might hit up the chest that's guarded by the Earth tile, but maybe the Asher check too, the one that's like at the north side of Earth 3, but I don't expect her opening up if any chests.
Yeah, I expect she's going to take a poke at Topher and see if it's an ease. Because sometimes you get the fight we had with Tiamat, and sometimes you get the fight we had with Kraken.
That is very true. And Lord of the Synth is in go mode. He's going to stare at his inventory a little bit, decide what he wants to do with it.
Look at all that opal gear with sadness.
Yeah, he's just
if your fighter was just a little bit tougher, you could use it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he may do the sea check because he's heading north now, back to the Anrak area. So he knows that Sea Shrine is incentivized. He may do it to see what the ladies have. They're gonna, like I said before, they either have the tail or the power bond. Either one, in my opinion, is worth getting.
Yeah, I think Starscream, huge lead, commanding lead. But this is one bad Topher away from going sideways.
Yeah, and that is true. Like, it does look different on the screen. We have 3 orbs on Leggystarscream. She's going to be lighting up her 4th orb here in a moment, whereas Lord only has 1. But like my co-commentator said, Get Dave said, it really is only like one Topher wipe away from really changing the game, because Lord of the Synth is not opening up any more boxes either.
Well, yeah, we'll see how long he goes with that. He may also take the Sea Shrine dive and then whip out and do the Light Mermaid check. You never know.
Mm-hmm. Well, right now, Leggy's getting pretty good on her levels. If she can get the level 24, which, not if she could, but she will get to level 24 in Topher. That'll get her 5th hit on the Massa. So that's pretty good. That's going to be good damage that she's going to be able to deal in Topher going up against those bosses.
Yeah, as long as the defense doesn't roll high like it did on Tia.
Defense or evade. I mean, either one, and they can roll high because, like I said, the scaling does go up to 230%.
Yeah, we do have lock too, or at least we have a lock spell. I forget which one.
It is lock too.
Lower the evade. It doesn't lower evade as fast as enemies can raise it up if they have something like Ruse, but that is not something that happens very often.
Well, yeah, I mean, lock. So what he's saying is that in Ruse, if you use the spell Ruse, that gives you 80% more evade. It raises your evade by 80%. Whereas lock is more like doing the opposite of invis, which is lowering an enemy's evade by 40%. So let's call this Lich battle. We got 4 hits, 609, Thor's Hammer, 114, and that's a dead Lich.
It was 11 seconds. I timed it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good Lich fight for him. Maybe the strongest performance Lich has brought. Typically, with carry, sometimes she rolls pretty well. Kraken, always scary on the multi-attack. Tia tends to be a bit more of a slugging match, which we saw tonight, and has the risk of attack. And Lich is just happy to be here. He got the invite, it was really great. He's moving up in the world. Starscream making the final attempt to gear up before the Topher dive. Gonna go with 99 heals, I expect, or high 90s. Sometimes runners will take the effort to burn down to 89 and then go for it. I don't think that's going to happen, though. There is some decent healing there. Saves at the end, and we're going to see our Topher dive. Leggystarscream heading in right around the 1 hour, 38-minute mark. So our chance to find out if the Great Equalizer is going to come out or not. A difficult Topher changes everything.
You know, it looks like Leggy's going to go on ahead and burn off these this camping gear. Good move, because you want to have those heals in that one spot right there where you only have to press up and B. It's a good menuing thing. And Lord of the Synth is full clearing down here. I figured he'd just make a beeline for the ladies and see what they have, but no, he's gonna check some chests along the way.
I think it's, knowing what we know, it's an okay move. Because he's not going to beat Leggystarscream on a race to the... He has to find something special she doesn't have and be able to overcome a challenge.
I'm not sure what just happened there, but I could have sworn Leggy was in Topher, and then all of a sudden she was no longer in Topher. Oh, she's getting ambushed by these whiz vamps and zombie Ds, and they are giving her the business.
Yeah. This could be...
Yeah, and you hate to see that because that's a lot of resources you're already draining. You know, all that
go away if you can dive a couple. We know waters didn't seem too bad. Okay, the cluster of bad men.
There's the power box. So it was the power box. We do know that the tail is going to be the loose item. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still picking up the power box.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lord of the Synth's only hope now is that Tia 2 has amazing defense.
Yeah.
Chaos also can roll pretty high on defense. Typically, the other fiends aren't as tanky.
Yes. So I'm thinking, man, with this seed, this is like in my opinion, this is a good black belt seed. The reason why I say that is because we found the Saria tile. It was the only, and the worm tile, but the worms rolled pretty high. I don't think I would have ground on them. But the Sarias you could have. Yeah. You had the Sarias you could have ground on and Ordeals, and you're right there next to the exit anyway. And you don't have Temper, you don't have the tail, and the power bonk was like the last loot, incentive item you could find in the game, essentially. So yeah, I mean, it might have been good to just have that black belt to grind up to like 1 million and then just punch your way through Topher without the need of things like Temper and power bonks and defense swords and all that stuff.
Yeah,
we haven't seen a defense.
We sarcastically endorsed much earlier in the seed.
Yeah, it is true.
Yeah, we saw that level 1 magic and said reroll 4 black belt.
Yep. I would have done reroll 4 black belts. And wow. So yeah, I mean, I'm just now thinking too, man. We haven't seen a defense sword or a white shirt, so like, Leggy can't even like really stack up evade or anything if she gets like to
Viz 2.
We do have the
red or not, but you can slowly do that if you can hold on.
It should be on both the red and the white because it was level 2, but it does share this spell slot with Wall, and I know she's gonna want to throw some walls out to keep her people alive from like things like Bane or Zap or something like that. So
yeah, the one catch is you could ignore Invis or you could ignore Wall and view this as sort of an info dive.
Yeah.
Because some of the fiends, they might not have the skills that are going to make you want to burn the wall charges. So there's a chance that if you view this as an info dive, if it turns out to be really hard fiend fights, it might work out okay in the end. You can sort of adapt your strategy the second time around. So there's a little bit of insurance with that.
Yeah, well, I don't know. 138, I'm not doing info dives. I'm in it to win it. So hopefully she is able to. She's made it to the earth floor. We've got Gur Medusas. She has the level, so she probably doesn't really need to take the battle. I wouldn't take something that's gonna. I mean, I may throw a mage stick at him, just to, whatever. But they have stun touch.
13 hits and stun touch is a straight up run, or if you had me, but we don't.
We don't. She's gonna throw a Thor's hammer out. I think that she knows her white mage isn't gonna be able to get away from the battle. So she's gonna go on ahead and try to get that Thor's hammer out. Maybe get these guys down. If they rolled low, which they did, it looks like they rolled around the 90 area. So another Thor's hammer will do it, and she should get up to that level 24. But man, this battle's just taking longer than she probably wants it to take at this point.
Yeah, I think she maybe got off lucky that the white mage never gets stunned, because that could have been ugly. Those Gurmaduses were doing real damage, because again, we're only packing steel armor. This is not dragon mail.
Yeah. Yeah, and like DMD saying, Leggy's a little too deep to just try to reset out of a battle. She really wants to make this battle work. We got a Lich 2 on screen. Do you go Zap strats, Quake strats? We go Dang strats?
With Lich 2, I think you just see if you can kill him in 2 hits.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to just not happy about these spells, and neither is she. She's just looking at them like, what do I even do with these spells? I'm going to throw a Thor's hammer out. 4 hits.
Hey, 2 hits!
2 hits! Freaking Get Dave knows what's happening.
Would have been one with that black belt. That 4 black belt party.
Yeah, exactly. Just one punch. I mean, imagine you get 4 black belts. You're like, it's just, which one punches first is all I'm saying. Man, these Agamas rolled high. Whew. He took a shot to the.
You're excited to see, but they do tend to. They've got a decent hit point. So.
Yeah, and stun touch you don't want to see from them either.
A lot of stun touch down here. It hasn't backfired yet. I think the party's good enough that they should. But yeah, another large group of Gurmaduses. If they stun everyone, that's a problem. It'll be behind us.
Yeah, it's rough. And we got a heal 3 coming out. She's going to think about her party. Nope, no respect to carry. Attack.
Carry's another one of those fiends that, unless she rolls high, you're probably fine. I have seen problematic carries, but typically the trouble starts on the next floor.
Yeah, no, definitely. Kraken 2 is typically the gatekeeper, as they like to call it. But 4 hits, 166. You do not like to see that kind of a low roll on damage. Ice 2 coming out, doing pretty minimal damage, except the Matt took a hit to the face for 1. And Invis 2 coming out. She's thinking about what she wants to do next. Is she gonna? I say just keep the Invis 2s coming, maybe, or heal 3s. She's still thinking about it.
Spells or skills are out there.
Yeah, gonna do.
So here we're fine.
Yeah, exactly. We got Ink coming out. Only Matt and Boom, so they're not gonna be. They're doing, but Fight should still be able to land some attacks. Again, we don't have lamps, so we cannot cure it. We're gonna have to get out of this battle. 8 hits, 378. Still Carry standing up. I say throw a Quad X, and she's going to do it. Yeah, but no stop is landing on her mages. It's not okay, but it's all good. 8 hits, 557. We got a dead Carry too. Level 24. It's like she meant to do it all along.
Yeah. Advanced planning.
I agree.
24, get the extra hit just in time for Kraken. Throws up the zap instead of the lit spells.
And these sea snakes are being annoying over on LordoftheSynth screen because they are unrunnable and they have mute. So he's going to have to take them down one at a time.
Oh, hey, Blizzard.
Oh, that's nice. LordoftheSynth looks like he's lost. He's on that floor to the right, to the left, of the entrance. No, where is he? Oh no, he's on Kraken's floor. Kraken. Okay, I couldn't tell where he was based on what room he was in front of just then. It's fine. It's fine. He's gonna take on Kraken here in a little bit. Leggystarscream, hey, we may get dual Krakens here. How exciting is that?
Yeah. Might be a first time seeing that.
Yeah.
We'll see if Kraken 2 rolled defense, because if that happens, well, we'll have a fight. Kraken 2 was a pretty short game of shot. Or Kraken 1, sorry, was a short game of shot.
Yeah.
A mystery yet.
Yeah, yep. And this battle, the Sifu Party Plaque is unrunnable, so she's gonna have to figure out a way to get through it. Luckily, that Thor's hammer is actually working overtime. Like, we found loose Thor's hammer, and it is It is definitely working overtime.
And again, if you're watching this for the first time, typically someone would throw out Nuke and end this fight. So
yeah, but we have not seen Nuke. Nuke is level 8 we know that Nuke is level 8. We know that Fade is level 8. We know that Life 2 is level 8. We know that, Temper is level 8. Like, everything rolled level 8. That's what we know.
Big secret, it was never randomized to begin with.
Exactly. No Nuke, no Temper, no Life 2. Who rolled this? Crimbot? CRIM_BOT? Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But we got a double Kraken. I told you it was gonna happen.
It's like Christmas Day.
It is like Christmas Day. It's what I've always wanted my whole life. Was 5 hits, 380 coming out. Kraken fast himself. You don't want to see that.
Shields up.
Better just hope. You better just pray that those hits don't land. Get those Invis 2 stacks up. Bane coming out over on Lord of the Synth screen. So he actually did pick up the Bane, going for the insta-kills. And what a fasted Kraken. 4 hits, 400 damage on Boom, but that's fine. Fight retaliates and kills Kraken 2. We've only got 2 Fiends left.
They were really lucky that Kraken 2 did not get that attack off on, say, the fighter before the Invis 2 hits, because they only got 4 hits through. Without those Invises, that could have been a higher number, and that was 100 damage a hit.
Yeah, and we got the Edward fan club happening here on the right screen. You hate to see the Whiz Vamps and their little buddies hanging out, but she's going to get away from them. And Lord of the Synth, these Banes are not landing. He is having some Braxis Muse luck over here with these Banes, as nothing is landing.
And we know that Kraken does not have good defense or good HP, so this is a little rough to see. Hey, he got it anyway. But that was one fasted blow from the fighter, so... Anyway, back on Leggystarscream's side of the world, we got Tia 2. Does Tia 2 have good defense or not? It's a 100-hour question. Starts with Wall, having a little bit of a concern about the skills. Nothing to worry about. Stun fails. Lock 2. Gonna get ready to unleash the offense from the fighter next time. Decent attack on the first round. Gonna see what happens this time. It should be good, unless we roll incredibly lucky the first time. Decides to go with Ice 2 for a little bit of extra damage. We'll see if the chip helps. Thor coming in for an 18. Okay, Nuclear comes. Rocks the party, but everyone is still standing. 665 damage thrown back the other way, and some chips. Not enough? It's okay. They throw out the heals now. Nuclear is unlikely to come out again. Gets the shields back up. The White Mage has to stay up. Okay. It was not likely, but it did happen. The White Mage is up, so there's still hope. Critical hit. Do you have a Cure 4, and will it come out on time? Oh no, the White Mage goes down. Fighter does 893 damage, and Tiamat still stands. Dropped on the second attack, more hits, less damage, but it is only the fighter. We did not class change tonight. There's no healing spells there, and even if we did, we wouldn't have the ones we need. Twin Nuclears on a defense, or an HP-centric Tiamat. It's not a good roll. We'll see if there's enough left in the tank for Chaos, but with steel armor, could be problematic. I'm not sure if she's even going to get past the Rock Galls. Got the turn order, well, got enough of the turn order to finish it off. Level 26, and a gazillion heals. At this point, based on the bad luck we saw earlier in the stream, I think she's thinking, I gotta go for it now. There's no defense sword. There's a Thor hammer. That's what there is. There's a Thor hammer, steel armor. There's a ribbon kicking around. I don't know if it was moved. I think that might... There it is. So that fighter is going to have good defense, full resistances, and a massa. And that's what they've got to work with. Just gotta hold down the fight button and hope for the kill. 224 damage. Oh boy. Chaos has got some decent attack power. There's no way to increase defense. You can hope he throws out bad skills. It's not looking good. 322 damage to the fighter, and it's a reset. Starscream says, maybe we don't save the world, and pieces out. We're on LordoftheSynth's side. He's checking out the tower, working his way to Cubeville, where he's gonna try to take out Tiamat. That will be 3 orbs lit once he accomplishes that. Gonna pillage the Diamond Room. Walks away from a pretty bad sword at this point in the game. Pocket change, a little bit more pocket change. Alright, so this is where your allowance was hiding, everybody. Alright, a ribbon. There's the real item. Steps back to get to his lucky tile before he opens the chest. And say goodbye to that opal gauntlet. Sits it down for a slightly worse one and picks it up again. It's alright. The good news is, with that Tiamat Chaos combo, there might be some time to work with here. Starscream heading into Waterfall, looking for hope in all the wrong places. Yeah, Leggy does have a tremendous lead. The problem is, I don't think she's operating on that assumption because of some of the difficulties finding the early canal. It hasn't been a kind seat, so you don't look at the 2-hour mark and think, oh man, I'm way, way, way behind. But you think, this is around when the sort of seed would normally get finished, but we do have some exceptional circumstances here. This is a marathon. People went in expecting anything else. This is very likely the toughest seed we're going to have in the first round. I can't imagine anything else will be tougher. Mark this day on your calendars, viewers. Behold, history in the making. So I think we're looking at a worm grind. She came here for the worms, stayed for the heals. The problem is they're pretty tough. We don't have Nuke. We've talked up Nuke a couple times. It's because it's a non-elemental spell. It just rolls its damage. There's no defending it, there's no reducing it, and that's partly why Nuclear hurts so much. There's a big payoff if all these worms go down. Still haven't dropped a single one. Boy. I think you almost have to switch to invis strats, I think, if you're going to fight these over and over. NASA dropped one in a big way. I think the fighter is just going to end up doing it. The big rolls don't seem to be happening anymore. Poison touch is a bit of an inconvenience. Doesn't have to be an issue though. So the question now is she going to revive the Black Mage to get more charges on there, or do you go with the Super Fighter? Up to level 24. Keeps the Black Mage down. So there's a finite number of experience points in every battle. Normally, they are split up amongst all the Light Warriors, if they're standing. I think we might be looking at a attempt to raise a couple of the characters. Oh no, she's got the trio she likes. Yeah, the Black Mage is not bringing a ton to the party. There's not anything really helpful they can do that the Red Mage can't. Red Mage can use better equipment, has access to healing spells some of the time. Little side effect of Cure 4 is it removed the poison there. Always a nice touch. These worms are tough enough that I don't know if they're going to get a super efficient grind here. But it might be the only grind in town, because nothing in this scene is free. There ain't no rest for the wicked.
Pardon me, if you don't mind, I'm going to step in for a second. Greg had to step away and ask for some backup, but I agree. This seed's been something, alright.
Yeah. How you doing, Danny? Staying up a little later than expected?
I'm doing good. I was taking notes, clicking buttons, doing what I clearly do best. Much better than comms. But, Greg had to step away, having just a little bit of few issues, and asked if I'd step in and fill in for him. So I'm helping out.
All right.
I'm trying to anyway.
The seed has defeated Grigglypuff.
Oh, this seed has defeated just about everybody.
So
Holy
if
moly.
you're playing,
Yes.
let's say you're Starscream.
Uh-huh.
What do you do right now? You're going for the grind. How far do you push it?
Like Leggy's levels going in, I would have, or levels that I would have went in comfortably with. I would have checked mermaids, hoping it was wrong since I didn't have temper. If I had left, I might have just dove right back in and tried again. But if I'm going for levels, I would have gotten. Well, she's 26 and separate characters now. 26 I'm comfortable at, which Leggy seems comfortable at too. So.
Yeah, and we'll probably pick up a couple more along the way. So, you know, this is maybe going to be fighting Tia 2 and Chaos 28.
Right, so I come back and I see Leggy's done like a worm grind. Is that what's happening? What kind of levels we got going on over here?
Yeah, Greg, did you see the really good fight against Chaos?
Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
Okay, yeah. So Chaos kind of cleaned up the remnants that Tiamat left. Leggystarscream wiped out.
Yeah.
Decided to bail, do a quick worm grind. It's gotten up to 26. Not on the Black Mage, but the Black Mage is the lich of this party.
Okay, has Leggy gone back to Elflin and picked up Ruse for her nut? No, because she doesn't have the tail. The tail's loose. Okay,
Yep.
so, whew. Wow. So we got Bane coming out. Lord of the Synth going the wrong way on the Sky Maze 2. He's going up. I don't know what's happening here. That's fine.
Yeah, no big deal.
Yeah, it is what it is. And Leggystarscream going back in at just under the 2-hour mark. I'm going to try to make a run for it. Man, these things are high ambush. It's ridiculous.
And I'm just going to put this out there. They went the wrong way in Ice Cave. They went the wrong way in Sky. And it's turned out to be a really difficult seed. I'm not saying it's connected, but prove me wrong.
Now that I'm chiming in, it's up, right, and you can't tell me otherwise.
No. It's right. Okay, hold on. It's right, up. Everyone knows. Comms, or not comms, I'm sorry. Chat, help me out. Okay. Comms not going to help me out. As we've got slimes, and they're cosplaying as oozes. Very confused by life right now, but that's okay, because we need Bless RNGs out here at the 2-hour mark. Are we going to see a Warmech? Are we seeing a Warmech?
I don't know, but we're seeing Starscream check the eye room chest, which...
yeah, a little incentive action. I like it. Or not incentive, I'm sorry. What's it called? Validation? You got to validate your run.
Yeah. Now following the rituals, right?
Yes.
So go back and check her Ravenwolf to get the blessing against Tia 2 with the double nuclear.
Yeah, Maverick Canissa in chat. We got Starman 0 giving us the Bless RNGs. Asher 1611, also a spring tournament participant. Like I said earlier, man, we got a lot of people in spring tournament right now. 74 people. We cast 37 races this week, 36 of which were restreamed on either Randomania, one on RPG Limit Break, and on Speed Gaming Family of Networks. We have been all over the place doing restreams. We've got tons of awesome comms that have been helping out, as well as our trackers and anybody that needs to help out with the restreamings over on Randomania and RPG Limit Break. Really awesome stuff happening here. Please join the Discord if you are not part of the Discord. And, if you think you could cast a race, you want to come out here and learn how to track from our best tracker in the history of time, then, you join us, hang out with us. We're nice people, I think. I mean, getting Daved is pretty cool. I don't know about myself, but, we're all right people. Come on in and hang out with us. The water is warm, as they say.
I consider us both acquired tastes, but, you can put in the work and get there. Also on the subject of the tournament, the videos on demand going to be on the YouTube channel for Randomania and Speed Gaming, and also there's a Final Fantasy Randomizer channel on YouTube set up that just has playlists that links to all the other ones on those aforementioned networks. So if you want one place where you can get it all, and get routed to the correct Randomania content, it's right there. And of course, speed gaming. I got distracted. There is a game going on. Alright, apparently my acquired taste comment has chased Wrigglypuff away. It's fine. This team is stronger without him, and we've always felt that way, right, chat? No. Starscream diving in round 2. Going in so far. The hardships are up ahead. She knows it. She's got the info. Knows about the double nuclear. Which just might not happen next time. Because the Fiends, they've got a skill list. They've got a spell list. They will move through those, and when they're done, they will loop back and move them and get through them again. Nuclear is on the skill list, but they will choose between the spell, the skill, or an attack. So, the odds of rolling a double nuclear, I cannot stress this enough, not super common. And a lot of the bad things that have happened, like of 8 sweeper spells, none of them landing on the bottom 8 magic shops, the 4 black, the 4 white. Most of them are all black magic, but you can still get an early fade. None of it happened. No temper, no power bonk for Starscream. This is about as tough as it gets. This is not your first duckling match. Boom takes a nap. Carrie's putting up a bit more of a fight with her hammer. Brings her down. Demarine discovers she is worthy to wield it and strikes Carrie dead. Yeah, who's laughing at the Thor hammer now?
We've had a Thor hammer take down a Fiend. We've had a Mage stick take down a theme. Item magic on webs is doing work tonight.
Yeah, this is the MacGyver seat. You gotta use every tool in the tool.
Right? I like that. This way, with magic's this bad, you just use everything you've got.
Yeah, it's really impressive actually. Just a masterclass in everything that you don't see in a normal seed. Again, we've seen a lot of Lock 2 coming out. It'll happen in other seeds, but you know, you could watch 10 matches and never see it once. A lot of Quake, a lot of Zap.
Yeah.
You see those every once in a while, but again, those are usually...
You don't always... It's rare when you find all of them in the early magic levels and no sweepers.
Yeah.
I track
so
a lot
hilarious.
of matches. Yeah, I track a lot of matches, so I take a lot of notes on magic.
Yeah.
And I felt real bad just making notes of the magic in this seed earlier.
Yeah, why bother writing this down? Yeah, you just gotta get yourself, like, a frowny face you can put.
Right?
Yeah. Level 1 and 2 magic.
Like level 1, nothing helpful here. Level 2, nope, still nothing helpful. Level 3, oh come on!
Yeah, they gotta rape you. That was their strong starting point area. And reasonably priced items.
Yep.
But here we are. Starscream's getting ready to start fighting the real fiends now.
Yep,
Kraken didn't give much trouble the first time. We'll see how this goes again. Sorry, you were saying, Danny?
Oh, no, I said this seed said, you want to win your first week, we're going to make you work for it.
That's right. Week 1 doesn't want to go quietly.
No, it's putting up a fight.
Yeah, there will only be week 1. Alright, Kraken 2 goes down like a chump. Starscream's in a pretty strong spot. Slightly higher base HPs. It's nice to see 600 hit points on the fighter. The concern is going to be the nuclears. Yeah, chat's starting to get hyped. Yeah, if we're on the same encounter cycle, good point brought up by Asher, there is going to be wrong for Tia as well. It's pretty likely we're on the same encounter cycle. Although, she did check the validation chest, so you never know. I didn't take note of how many hit points Tia had before, but it was a deep amount. Wall goes up. Stun fails to hit on Demarine. That was the first move we saw last time. Oh no, I've seen this before.
It seems also
Does not
familiar.
count steps. Uh-oh. So we are probably on the same path. Tons of damage to Tia, but there's a lot of hit points there. Tia did not have good defense. There was just hit points. Just an ocean of HP. Sauce for days. Alright, Dia, throw a Cure 4 on the red maiden. Would get rid of the stun, and it would get you out of the danger zone for nuclear. It would get you off the highway to the danger zone. Okay, the Thor hammer's coming out. That's what the end of the rope looks like, but it killed a fiend. Don't knock it till you've killed a fiend with it. And Tia goes down. Starscream is in much better shape.
And as Leggy's taking down Tia too, Lord of the Synth finds the defense sword. He now has defense and he has bonk, so his Topher dive is going to be, I'd say, a lot easier than Leggy's.
And the defense sword, if you only have one person living, it's better than Invis 2. It gives you a slightly better version of that on one character. If you throw that on a fighter, it would have really changed that Chaos fight, because all we saw from Chaos was big attack power, big punch energy.
3 casts of that defense, you're evade cap. I've had many Chaos fights with you have the defense sword, the Mazza, and the bonk. If you have those 3, it's not always easy, but if you can get evade cap and get a couple of casts off with your power bonk, it makes a Chaos fight absolutely doable with only your fighter.
Yeah, you're basically immune to physical attacks in that situation. You get a ribbon or a wand to magic, so you'll only be taking chip damage. Okay. Boom, gets 365 damage, punched around the ear, and the shields go up. The good news is Boom was not the strong member of the team, so they fulfilled their duty. Their wash has ended. Taking a nap in slot 1. Okay, only 143 damage from Chaos on punch 2. It's a good thing. Get some more Invis 2s, hopefully that'll get down to a miss, and then we'll find out if Chaos has anything real in terms of spells. We haven't seen Nuke yet. There is more than one Nuke in the spell pool. We haven't seen Cure 4 yet. There is Cure 4. There's one of them. Normally it goes to Chaos. Pretty late in the spell pool. And Chaos, unfortunately, did not get that hit point total.
Yep, with an official time of 2 hours, 9 minutes, and 41 seconds, Leggy has finally defeated Chaos with a win. Her second go, which was thankfully for her much easier. And GG, Leggystarscream.
Yeah, that deserves a little bit of applause. Round
it
1 is
does.
defeated.
That was rough.
That's one of the hardest scenes I've ever seen. In watching a lot of Rando, I can't think of much else that could have gone wrong. I guess you swap that early Masamune with, 2 gold. That could have been it.
Yeah. It was definitely worked for tonight, because like I said, this seed was like, well, whatever we can throw at you to make it difficult, we're gonna do.
On the other side, Lord of the Synth, going through Earth. He's seen the dot done, I expect. Is he going to finish the seed? The catch is, Lich is not going to put up a fight. He's got a chance to maybe have an easier Topher with Defense Sword, with Power Bonk. So we'll see. Wraps around to the Lich room. Go ahead, Danny.
Say, well, I'm seeing if Leggy wants to come in for a post-game interview.
Might need a trip to the fridge, the bathroom, and the bed after that grueling seed. And in the length of that sentence, Lich is down. I know it comes as a little bit of a shock, but did not put up more of a fight the second time around as well. Lord of the Synth is ready to hit up Topher. It's also got a light axe that's going to fire off sooner or later. Or never. All right, and is that the sound of Leggystarscream joining us in the booth?
I think it might be.
Hello, everyone.
Hello and GG.
Thank you.
How you
I'm
feeling?
Used.
You feel used? Is that what you said?
I was sure after all that time I spent mucking around in volcano and ice way too early that when I pulled that canoe out of Dwarf, I was like 20 minutes behind.
Yeah, that canal. Yeah, that was rough.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, you both skipped that canal and dwarf.
Yeah, you both flipped the coin the other way, so in the end, that was pretty easy.
Yeah, it made sense from like a sheer chest number play because based on the way the randomizer works, if you get that canoe, canal can still be at volcano or ice.
Yeah, I don't think we thought anything was off about the routing, or the route. It's just one of they leave a couple of chests, but what are the odds?
Right? And then, of course, you know, with that magic pool.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, running in and checking level 3 white magic way too late was also just like, oh my god.
Yeah, the magic didn't really give you much this seed, hey?
I mean, I could have used that heal 3 much earlier than I got it.
Yeah, definitely. But no nuke, no fade, no sweepers until level 5. You had to improvise a lot. Like, this is not a textbook match.
Yeah, and I honestly feel lucky. One of the things I did this morning, because I believe it was Jay Coper who asked on the Discord, was just a question of like, okay, what insta-kill strats are you looking for various bosses? So I already had that on my mind.
Serendipitous timing is all I have to say to that. Now, I want to ask you the question. In round 2, in week 2, when you've got your race coming up, would you do the dwarf check earlier based on what happened tonight?
If I get the canoe again? Maybe. Like, it depends how I'm feeling. If I have slightly better black magic, then, yeah. I would probably still just straight up go volcano and ice again.
Okay, because you could fight your way through more effect.
Yes. But with this garbage loadout, if I were to do it again, I would go straight to dwarf every time. It's free. It's 2 free checks. And with the level of magic we have, it's not exciting at all. Granted, I would probably still do the marsh dive first, and I'm still very happy about that marsh dive.
Oh yeah, that Masamune was huge. The crazy thing was, LordoftheSynth went to Marsh, didn't check the North Pass, left, and then came back and ended up having the Masamune, which for you, because we thought, oh, there's no way he comes back unless he's got a key and he's at the absolute end of his rope. And like 1 minute later, turned around, got the Massa as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very unlikely turn of events. So, your first Topher dive was an adventure.
Yeah. Definitely was a little exciting. I still think going down and seeing Chaos was the right play there.
Yeah.
If only because it gave me an idea of what the scripts from Chaos were going to be.
He was very punchy tonight.
Yes. And so, knowing that, I definitely had some choices that I made when I had the full complement of characters that second time.
Yeah, that was really impressive, actually, how differently the Tia 2 fight. The second time around, I don't think you saw one nuclear.
I did not.
Yeah, first time
I was
around, you got
waiting
them
for
back
it.
to back. Yeah, right as you got the second nuclear, like the first one went off, and second one coming out, and then immediately just your party gets nucleared, and it's like, well, it wasn't very likely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it was a tough moment.
I'm definitely going to be... Let's face it, that's one of the main things that makes this randomizer so random, is just how intensely variant some of these final fights can.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you came across Kraken 1 and Kraken 2, packed a big punch the first time around, but in both cases you dropped him pretty easily. There was just no defense, but Tia, the first time around, massive defense, the second time around, massive HP, and Tia gave you a little bit of pushback both times.
Yeah, luckily, when she doesn't throw out the nuclears, I'm perfectly content.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Tia tends to be a bit tankier, but often that's it.
Of course, what made me really happy was the Fasted Fighter one-shotting Kraken 2.
Oh, it was beautiful. Yep, watching the White Mage go down in one hit.
Yeah.
And drop of them in one hit.
So where's Lord of the Synth right now?
Lord of the Synth has entered Topher 2, is on Carry 2 right now, and
Yep.
took a more circuitous route to get there, has the Power Bonk and the Defense Sword. So there's a little bit more insurance if he gets double nuclear. Against Chaos, having that Defense Sword is a pretty big advantage. So we'll see how it goes. Carry 2, a little bit variant, was a bit of a pushover the first time for you. So some of it comes down to the rolls. Lord of the Synth drops her with a big hit, followed up by the Quad X. Goes on to the water floor.
Yeah, so where was the Bonk and the Defense Sword?
Bonk was the sea incentive, and he found the defense on Earth, the 3rd floor.
Okay. Yeah, I was debating whether or not I wanted to go over to Mermaids, but I honestly was feeling super behind at the time.
Yeah, that's one other thing I wanted to ask you. So we sort of speculated that both of you probably felt behind when you got the canal at Dwarf, but at what moment did you sort of transition from thinking, this is a difficult seed, a lot of breaks aren't going our way, but it's going to be bad for both of us too, oh no?
Honestly, once I found that canal, the seed opened up for me, and I started to get my confidence back. And when I found that Saria tile at the end of Ordeals, I just got so happy.
Because you thought, okay, I've got my Massa, I've got my experience points now.
Yeah, I've got my Quake. I'm just gonna dump all these charges right here. That put me easily into the mid-teens, which, is good enough to just start cleaning things up.
Yeah. It's interesting. Lord of the Synth did the same grind, but it actually may have been up to about half an hour later because it looked like he forgot that he had the ruby, which led to quite a bit of a jog before he went back to Titan's Trove and got progression there.
Oh no!
And that seemed to sort of put him off his game a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had the canal just briefly before you did, and then it seemed to forget that he had the canal. I'm not sure if he forgot or just didn't realize he still had it, and did a bit more exploring. And then you found the canal and went straight for the ruby turn in, which thankfully it was like the first really nice thing that happened in that scene. It was like, we're gonna reward you with a floater.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and then the seed actually changed quite a bit. It on the combat side, I think stayed pretty difficult, but the routing really shifted in your favor at that moment. And you actually had a head full of steam at that point. Like, you really got quite a bit done very quickly.
Yeah, a certain amount of it was, okay, I've got my floater, I've got my stuff, I know my routing at this point. And a certain amount of it is, oh god, I need that fire under my butt, because if I don't find, the one loose required item, I'm definitely dead.
After the beginning of that sea being so rough, it's like getting your airship literally put wind in your sails. Like, you were off.
Yeah, and then I was just praying that LaFane had the Oxyale there.
That was another little moment where you gained a little bit of time. Because he started heading to LaFane and pulled a 180 and ran back. I'm going to switch to calling Lord of the Synth here. He's about to engage Tia 2, which I think is probably the most difficult fight of this seed. So, and he goes. It's bonking up with the fighter, gets the fast loaded. We'll see if he gets the turn order or if he gets the nuclear. Pretty good hit point totals on everyone but the Black Mage, though, as usual. We'll find out if it's enough. Invis 2 going up to get the shields up. No walls queued. We'll see if that becomes an issue. Tia goes for an attack and whiffs. Good start. Neil goes for the quick quad X. I like it. It didn't work. He doesn't know Tia's got several thousand hit points yet. 936 hit point attack from the fighter. A good start. Stun fails to hit. Tia is not showing the real strength. He's just loading up attacks now. Sure you don't want to think about getting a heal 3 queued? Doesn't crit. Tia takes big damage, just letting the fighter do his work. 2 hits, the stun comes through. Now we've got our first concern. Team switches to a more defensive strategy. Not getting Cure 4 to eliminate it. Goes to Invis 2. Little do they know. Lit 3 goes off. We're switching to chip damage here. Probably not going to be a big factor. Someone in chat asking, is Chaos immune to Bane Sword? So if you have immunity, you get about a 1% chance. You get 99% immunity. Anything could go through. Same goes for Tia. That's why sometimes we talk about Dengwu stats, where you just sort of throw out some Quakes and some Banes and see what happens. It can work. Nuclear comes out. The fighter is still stunned. Is the second nuclear going to come? That will be a big deal. Gets the heal 3s logged. Are they going to get turn order? A couple heal 3s will probably push him out of the reds. Gets his white mage up to 220 hit points. The second heal 3 comes out in the nick of time. It's only ice 3. Good resistances all around. Trying the quad X again. Doesn't know Tiamat still got hit points for days. Fighter remains stunned. Danny, do you know if Lord of the Synth has Cure 4?
I don't know. I'm keep hoping he'll like scroll down past level 4 to see if he's got it, because as soon as my fighter was stunned, if I've got Cure 4, I'm Cure 4 in that fighter.
Yes.
I'm guessing
Some people don't know.
He's got. Yes, there we go. We got there.
So I don't know if they were just trying to conserve charges. Some people don't know. Cure 4 will eliminate any status ailment. Okay. We've got some hardship. The Cure 4 came a bit too late. Can they get the damage through? Without major damage spells like Nuke. Okay, we're switching to Dang Strats. Hail Mary Zap goes off, no hit on both attempts. Zap coming through for us just like it did the rest of the game. And Nuke. Nuclear, Nuke.
Oh, and unfortunately with that, Lord of the Synth has forfeited. I think he has had enough of this unfortunately unpleasant seed.
Well, can you blame him? Rip me
up. There you go.
Well, everybody, as it turns out, Rando had one last horrible surprise for us, hiding behind Tiamat. We never suspected something could get worse than double nuclear. I don't think I've ever seen nuclear nuke. Well, Danny, what do we have coming up?
I've seen it, but it's rough. Well, right now, the only thing we really have on the schedule is tomorrow. I feel like we've been so busy this past week. I feel like it's just like tomorrow feels weird not having, but tomorrow we do have the second week matchup reveal and pairings. We get to find out not only what we'll be running this week, but we get to see who we're gonna be running against this week, which will be at 9 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time tomorrow here on Randomania, which I'm both equally looking forward to and terrified of, because by some miracle I ended up 1-0 this weekend. I'm scared of everybody that's also in the 1-0 pool, so
You would be right there with you.
whoa, it's
Burt
going
Reynolds
to be
shows up at this
something.
moment, asks, "Who won?" Leggystarscream won, but I would say Ring was the real winner tonight.
It's like, where was all the good magic this seed? Well, apparently the fiends had it.
Yeah, Tiamat stole it all. That was
She was
that's the
hoarding
real
it
plot
all.
of this story.
Right? Alright. Lord of the Synth is coming. So he'd be in for an interview, but he needed a minute.
Yeah.
Interested
just
on his
gonna
thoughts
go-
for this seed.
Just gonna go walk onto that balcony and swear. Well, while we wait, first off, congratulations again, Starscream. Lord of the Synth, is that you?
It is indeed me. What the
how you
hell
feeling?
about that C2 stun lock?
Oof,
Yeah,
that sounds
and-
brutal.
We knew nuclear was there. You were the first to discover that it also got followed.
Was I the first to discover paralysis?
That one I don't remember. What happened with Starscream was the first time she went to Tia 2, won the fight, got double nucleared, but the fighter was able to stick around long enough to finish off Tiamat, and then discovered a very punchy chaos, which led to a wipe. And then on the second dive, didn't see nuclear once, got a much better Tiamat fight, made quick work of it. And that was really the difference of your Topher experiences. What I want to know is, what'd you think of the seed?
An interesting challenge to get back into competition. I didn't really capitalize on Zap the way I should have. I spent way too much time looking for the tail, which turned out to be the loose item. And the Thor hammer too. I don't think I found either of the loose items.
You did find Power Bonk, although that may have been
that was
incentive
incentive.
location.
That was the C incentive.
Right.
Yeah, the two loose on this seed were the Thor hammer and the tail.
And we still don't know where Tail is.
Probably somewhere in Earth.
Yeah. Would you have promoted if you got the Tail?
Yes, actually, I would have.
Just to get more Invis 2 charges, or?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. I was hoping to get something on the night 2.
So early on, you and Starscream both elected not to check out the Dwarf Cave. And it turned out that's where the canal was all along. What was going through your mind?
So yeah, I was disappointed when I found that. I was pretty sure Leggy would have found that far first, because usually I do an early dwarf check, but the herb drove me to Elfland, and then I got the canoe. So I decided I was going to go to the Crescent Lake area, pick up the item, and then attempt to dive the armory, which was successful, although it took 2 tries.
Yeah. Starscream had similar results, and actually quite similar routing at that point.
Yeah, then I did a couple.
Actually, get the canal a little earlier.
Yeah, I could actually see that. I actually had a heck of a time getting back out of Crescent Lake. I actually had to stop and grind a few levels before I could actually get through. I probably should have gone through the south, back through the swamp. I had a real hard time timing that kind of hero run at the beginning of the encounter table. I was always like 1 square too late for like half the seed.
God, tell me about that. Like, it was a beautiful run. It was just a pain in the ass.
I eventually started syncing it with the overworld theme and the ship thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Because the nice thing was, housing, camping supplies, they were all cheap. So you did have the ability really get those over stretches.
Yeah, that's why I bought like 50 caverns, like a quarter of the way into the seed. Because I already felt like I was behind, though I guess I wasn't. So I'm like, okay, I need to move fast. With Zap and things like Quad X and Quake, I can probably make up any experience differential.
Yeah, the big change. So this is one of two things I want to talk to you about. The big change came related to the Ruby.
Yeah, I forgot I had it. I actually didn't mark it off on my tracker, and then when I came back, I'm like, oh crap. And then I also forgot to turn into Slab, so I had 2 extra trips to the Melman area.
Yeah, the Slab one, I don't think that was only a couple, maybe a minute you lost there, but the Ruby one,
Yeah, the Ruby, I could have had that. I could have had the floater like almost 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, well, basically right after the canal, the floater was more or less in game.
Yeah, that's when I forgot the Ruby, that's when I really started to feel behind.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then the other really interesting thing I thought we saw from you. So you dive marsh. Greg and I were sort of talking about this, and it did look like the marsh dive play to make, especially with Ice Cave and Volcano being horrible. But
and
you left and went back. Sorry, go ahead.
I was saying, I went to marsh because there was no way I wanted to go into ice with the magic that I had at the level I had.
Mm-hmm. But the interesting thing I thought was you go marsh, and then you left, and then you came back getting the Masamune because through your head that made you think, I'm going to check North Marsh.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch all of that.
Oh, well, just when you left Marsh and then you decided to go back a second time and just check those last couple of chests on the north end, what were you thinking?
I don't remember what I was actually thinking.
Because it paid off. You got a Massa.
Yeah, it's kind of a standard thing I do. Like if I dive marsh, I usually I check those top chests first, and then if there's nothing, I just reset. I was happy to find the Massey in there. Yeah,
that was sort of the first big break either of you got in the seed, which didn't really give you any equipment or magic to start.
Yeah, tell me about it. This is a great way to get back into competitive racing, I guess.
Yeah, I expect that every seed you will play from now on will be you. So you got all the rust off in this.
Yeah. I was kind of, by about an hour and 45 in, I was sort of expecting to lose because I had just made too many mistakes.
Yeah, although a big part of it was just a difficult seed.
Oh yes, absolutely. Which is why I'm not particularly tilted.
Yeah, like I don't think any runner should feel bad about basically anything that happens in that seed because, like, Marsh was essential to progression. There's no magic. No one got the tail. Steel armor was what Starscream was taken into the fight. Like, this is not the by the book way you want to route a seed.
Wait. Starscream is taking steel armor to chaos?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm duly impressed.
Did you find anything better?
I can't remember where I picked up the opal bracelet. I can't remember which incentive it was.
I had my Tyrio on one of my mages.
Yeah, the opal bracelet was the ice incentive.
Okay. Also, I did a pretty poor job of note taking on magic, so there were some repeated trips back to towns to pick up some stuff, and I completely forgot to pick up level 6 spells before heading into the Topher. Although,
all things considered, I don't think you should feel too bad about that sort of stuff, though, because again, the difficulty of this seed is sort of responsible for some of those mistakes, I think.
Like, all the 3rd level elemental spells, like, I only checked one of the level 7 shops, but they were all level 7 or 8, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see any AoE sweeper spells till very late game. It was all like instant spells and stuff, just those early levels, and it just. I was tracking in the beginning of the race, and I always take notes during tracking for what magic is, and the more I put down what magic was at what level, the worse I felt for y'all, because it was awful.
So, sometimes when level 1 white magic is a miss like that, sometimes I will actually just re-roll. But Zap was there, so I figured I would gamble on the odds of something good being, levels 2 and 3. There were some decent white magic at 2 and 3. I mean, there was heal 3.
You had all the utility spells, which was kind of the you had everything you want to complement your sweeper, and you never got the main spell.
Hey, Zap is a sweeper.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
That's true.
That's yeah. It can do that.
And when you need it, I mean, in a pinch, it does pretty decent work. And this seed, you really needed it.
Yep. Found everything it could do. Lord of the Synth chronicling the good news of the nuclear nuke.
Yeah, that was.
They're not the same. They feel similar.
Yeah.
And the funny thing about that was, prior to that point, Topher was completely paper.
Yeah, Tia was the tough boss this one. I think much harder than Chaos.
I mean, except for the obnoxious unrunnable on the water floor.
I'm lucky. I got a few good zaps off. Going through there both times.
In Topher, earlier on, I don't know if I had poorer than usual zap RNG, but for some reason I just kind of stopped using it.
I mean, it's a crapshoot. I haven't quite done my dive into, okay, what the heck do I do for bad men and everything, but even picking off one or two of the sea trolls and maybe a lobster or two was really doing a number on those sea packs.
Yeah. I did manage to get the Bane strats off on Kraken 1, though.
Nice.
Yeah, that was what's interesting. Kraken 1 had kind of low HP and kind of low defense, but it was ultimately Bane that brought it, which was kind of funny, because right when your fighter went down, oh no, he's not going to get through the squishy hit points, and then boom, one-shot Bane right at that point.
Yeah.
All right. Lord of the Synth, based on what happened tonight, you going to change anything for your approach to match 2? You checked Dwarf earlier.
I'm not sure. I have to take a look at the flags. I'm personally fond of playing the Rainbow Mages. I think it's a good all-arounder, although, I mean, as you can see in the corner case, when the magic is particularly bad, it's a rough slog.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not sure. It depends on what next week's flags are.
Yeah, that was a bit of a tough one too, because it's not like you had great fighter equipment. There wasn't like a chainmail and a large sword where you could be like, "Hey, I could get some fighters." It's not really to lead you one way or the other.
Yeah, and you saw me checking more than I usually would, because I was really, really desperate to dig up some decent gear.
Yeah,
because I needed to compensate for the match.
Yeah, that was a discussion Greg and I had where, we were wondering, is Starscream going to check mermaids because of the lack of help? And because at that point, Starscream had seen Tia 2 was pretty tough. So with the fact that there was one attack, 6 for Masamune for 66 damage. And I was like, well, okay, do you go looking for the power bonk, which indeed was at mermaids. But Starscream just was full go mode at that point.
I did go back and I ground up some of the worms in Waterfall after my failed dive, but
I saw you headed that way, and I was like, is she going to check mermaids? And then you kept going straight, and I remember what the spike tile there was, and I went, oh, she's going for levels.
Yeah, fortunately enough, over the course of my check chess, I managed to pick up enough experience. I knew I was already in go mode when I was heading in to sea. Checking mermaids was actually a gamble for the tail, not the power balk. The power balk was a nice consolation prize, though.
Mhm.
Yeah, I just wanted like that little bit of extra health in case Tiamat decided to be nuke happy again.
Yeah, and as it turns out, Tia had one more that the nuke was following that up. It was on the spell list,
God.
so there could have been a little bit, but yeah, that Tia came to play.
It was basically it wasn't 3 straight rounds. It was 3 out of 4. I can't.
Yeah, and
Or like 3 out of 5 or something.
yeah, they were very. Yeah,
and you could see me plonking away with the red mage, desperate that I was going to get like quad X range or something.
Oh, one last thing, Lord of the Synth. Did you know that Cure 4 removes status ailment?
Actually, you know what? I didn't know that.
Okay, so when the fighter got stunned, we were like, oh, maybe he doesn't have Cure 4.
No, I had Cure 4.
Okay,
well, I'll certainly remember that next time.
Yeah, this is a good way to remember.
It's an unfortunate way to learn, but it'll definitely make sure you don't forget in the future.
It's actually the best way to learn because you really don't forget.
Right? It's just like burned into your brain. It's information that's never going away.
Anyway, y'all, I need to run off and get some dinner, so I will talk to y'all later. Thank you again to everyone involved in casting this race. Y'all are the real heroes here.
Yes, I second that.
I don't know. You guys ran that seed. I think you guys might be the one wearing the superhero capes.
Yeah, I would
Just saying.
Anyway, good night, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for coming
Hey,
out,
Leggy.
everyone.
Yeah, I think it's getting a little late, and maybe we should do final thoughts and let everybody get some rest, because that seed put them through the ringer. So, Lord of the Synth, any final thoughts on this first race of the spring tournament?
You know, not really. I'm coming in rusty. I haven't played since the last spring tournament. I was in the summer league, but I had to drop out because life blew up. This week in particular, life actually happened to blow up on me too, so I didn't really have much time to practice. So disappointed with the outcome, but you know, it's sort of understandable. And I mean, you know, a seed that tough can go either way.
Yeah, you got a cruel welcome back to Rando, but I think it'll set you for the rest of the tournament.
Oh come on, this is much better than Trolley DWR.
All right.
But yeah, no, good to be back.
Well, with that, I'd like to just say thank you to Randomania for hosting us tonight. They've been amazing at letting us take over their channel a lot, especially this last week, and they host a lot of our races, and we are incredibly appreciative of them. Thank you to Lord Synth and Leggy for running that horrid seed and yet still having fun with it. Thanks to Gouda 362, who was our restreamer tonight, who did a great job. I tracked. I had no intention of doing comms, but I was happy to step in and fill in when Greg had to step out. So thanks to Greg for doing comms. And Dave, it was your first time doing comms on an FFR race, and I gotta say, you did really darn well.
Well, thank you. I thought I was going to be 90 minutes and done, so I was like,
Yeah.
I saw the first thing that happened with the magic, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, but you did great. I think you're much better at this. You're much better at this than I think I am. You did great. So here's hoping you sign up and do more comms more often.
Well, thank you.
And with that, it's your first. We'll let you close this out.
Well, this is coming to you live from the International Broadcast Tower atop Sky Castle. Thanks for watching Week 1 closeout of the 2020 Spring Tournament, and I'll see you all at Week 2.